Welcome to Fight Night on talkSPORT. The first time was so good and so brutal, they had to do it twice. Last time, Troy Williamson upset the odds and in devastating fashion stopped the favourite Callum Simpson. Now 9 months later, they do it all again. It's repeat or revenge. This is Troy Williamson versus Callum Simpson 2 on Fight Night Live on talkSPORT.
Big bad man from out of England.
Down he goes for a fourth time, and Troy Williamson, victory from the jaws of career defeat.
What Callum Simpson now has to do is overcome those demons, that psychological damage that's been done. When he makes that ring walk, gets into the ring, he's going to remember that. Can he do it? Can he reverse it?
I watched the fight back, and as soon as the ref stopped it, he was there doing the ring doing press up. What he's been saying is just being very respectful and, like I said, classless, yeah.
Bad from me bad.
He won the accolades that he won, but I'm still a better fighter. And on the night, when we get to round 6, round 7, that wake up kicks in. It's going to be in for a long night.
The highly anticipated return of these two gladiators.
And the new Troy Trojan Wilson.
Well, we've had some fantastic rematches, all British rematches down the years. Chris Eubank, Nigel Benn, Carl Froch and George Groves, who can forget that? Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall, Tony Bellew sitting near us tonight, and David Hayes, Steve Collins and Chris Eubank Sr. This is a fantastic main event tonight. Alongside me, Gareth A. Davis, is Paulie Malignaggi, the Italian-American former world champion, Spencer the Omen Oliver, and the ancient but quite brilliant John Rawling. He's even more ancient than me. Paulie, I'll come to you first because John will have words with me for that. Paulie, these rematches are very special when the favourite loses to the underdog, who's a Cinderella man, who's upset the odds and has knocked him down 4 times in the 10th round 9 months earlier. What are you expecting tonight?
Well, I'm expecting a hungry Callum Simpson, but at the same time, I'm also expecting to see how he recovers from the 4 knockdowns that he suffered, and you know, will that play a little bit of PTSD when facing Tomlinson, especially the pressure style Tomlinson has, the physical style Tomlinson has. When it starts to get uncomfortable, will Simpson be able to hold his distance, his discipline,
which
and maintain the game plan?
Time.
He should have, but he burned too much gasoline.
Spence, do you think that he fought the wrong game last time?
Absolutely, it's all about tactics. He got them wrong last time. He got drawn into the fight. That's what Troy Williamson likes. He likes it rough, he likes it tough, and it turned into his game, a very close fight up until that 10th round. 4 knockdowns, and he has to now overcome that. Sometimes a loss can be the making of a fighter, a building of a fighter, the moulding of a fighter. Let's see if he can turn it around. It's a tough night tonight for Callum Simpson.
It is indeed, and we'll have that whole fight live for you. Well, let's go to the brilliance of John Rawling right now with Spencer, because James Dean Fury, Tyson Fury's cousin, makes his pro debut tonight against Dimitri Otrokau. Over to you, John Rawling and Spencer Oliver.
Thank you very much, the ever youthful Gareth. James Dean Fury then, first time we've seen him, and it's the first time that I've commentated on a Fury fight for a while, for one reason or another.
Yeah, it certainly is, John. I'm in that camp as well. We've been banned from most Fury fights over the last year or two. But James, the new breed, the new clan of Furies that are coming through, James Dean Fury, 3-time national amateur champion, 20 years of age, making his debut here tonight.
Young looking, isn't he? 20 years old. This is a 6-rounder. And the familiar figure of his uncle, Peter Fury, his trainer. He's with him in the corner and giving last words of advice before his first professional contest begins. And I'm sure there's got to be a few nerves in there, guys.
Yeah, of course there is. A lot of pressure on his shoulders. He's got big shoes to fill, hasn't he? Being a Fury. But Peter Fury, who we know is an excellent trainer, brilliant tactician, says this kid has everything.
He's been an amateur champion, fights out of the orthodox stance, and he started by trying to snap out that left-hand lead, but so far His opponent managing to keep his gloves high, and nothing of consequence has landed as yet. Now he gets closer. Fury lands a solid left hand, momentarily steps into southpaw, misses with a right cross. And Atrocao sees it just whistle across thin air in front of his nose. Shaven-headed Atrocao, and Fury, the taller man, standing around about 6 feet. And you've been speaking to him this week, I know, Spencer, and he's made a favourable impression.
Yep, he certainly has. You know, he has the Fury DNA, very, very confident stylistically. Boxes like a Fury as well, doesn't he? But he's been talking the talk this week. And let's see if he can walk the walk. He started very well here behind the jab. We've got that famous Fury feint that he does as well. And working here, Atrocao is a guy with a lot of experience. Won his first 15 fights, actually, before losing.
Lost everything since, hasn't he?
Yeah, and has only won one of his last 37. So it tells you where he's at right now. Survival mode, really, and it's just about whether Fury can do a number on him. He's only been stopped twice.
He's a journeyman, and it's how good Fury can manage to look against him. So far he looks okay, but no real power shots being landed as yet. Fury does look as though he's quite accurate and picking off his man nicely. Right hand from Atrocao was just a glancing blow to the bearded chin of Fury. The youngest fighting Fury, I guess.
Yep, he is. He's the new breed coming through. Started very well, taking centre of the ring, trying to be creative, trying to create the openings. Atrocao boxing on the outside, defensively pretty sound. As I say, this guy was once a prospect, now a journeyman, but a very clever, wise one.
Fury's doing enough to comfortably take this. Separate of their own volition. There's a left hand from Atrocao. Tries to throw a combination Fury, but his Belarusian opponent fell into him, stifling the opportunity into the last 10 seconds of the opening round. And we get a word from Paulie Malignaggi at the end of this and see how he rates the first 3 minutes as a professional for James Dean Fury. Paulie.
James Dean Fury looked very relaxed in his first professional round. We saw that like Spencer mentioned, that Fury feint. It's that stutter step feint that we've seen even Tyson use and the whole family uses. It actually looks interesting when a 6'9" guy like Tyson Fury uses it. He's got great legs. But we saw James Dean using that stutter step feint as well to open up some of the openings that he was able to put the jab through on the southpaw Atrocao. I'd like to see Fury be a little more careful coming out up high. Atrocao surprised him once or twice with some whipping shots that caught him a little, maybe on the neck, maybe 1 or 2 caught him. A little bit reckless coming out is James Dean Fury. Maybe he's having a little too much fun in there at times. Just want to like to see him to tighten things up a little bit defensively on the out.
Don't forget you can watch tonight's action live only on DAZN. Head over to DAZN.com/boxing so you don't miss a thing. And a reminder, you can watch along with us here ringside. Head over to talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel right now to watch our full broadcast for the big British and Commonwealth super middleweight title fight. Troy Williamson defending against Callum Simpson.
Yep, good start to the second round here. Again from James Dean Fury. Started fast, putting the combinations together. Atrocao, he's keeping his shape though. He's a dangerous guy, just comes back with a good southpaw right hook there. Fury has to be careful. He doesn't get caught, just hanging that chin out to dry.
Yeah, it caught him pretty clean as well, and Fury did nothing to either ride it or parry it. It just landed clean, and an early test of the chin of this 20-year-old Fury. Tall, bearded, dark-haired, against the shaven-headed Belarusian. Fairly clear opening round to Fury, took it by a distance.
Yep, and started this second round very well as well. With just over 1 minute into the second round, and Fury dominating, holding centre of the ring. That famous Fury feint going again, just switches southpaw momentarily as well, just trying to put his foot on the gas a little bit here in the second round, take control of this fight, but Akrikal, he's a dangerous guy. You got to pay this guy respect for sure.
Peter Fiori shouting some instructions from the corner, and James gave it a little nod of acknowledgement. Another right hand from the southpaw stance of Atroko, finds a glancing blow to the head of Fury, who comes back with a couple of body shots and brings a right hand up through the middle. Nice uppercut, and then a left hand, right hand thrown towards the head. Atroko comes back with a right hand of his own, and Fury's gloves held very low, and there's been times in this fight already. We're only in the second of 6 rounds on this Fury's pro debut. There's been times when he's been caught by the hooks of Atroko.
Yeah, he has to pay Atroko with the respect that he deserves. As I said, once he was a prospect and not a bad one. He loses now, but he always loses on points against good prospects as well. So it's always an ambitious debut here. Paulie, I'll bring you in on this one. It's an ambitious debut, isn't it, for someone like Fury? Because you look at this guy's record, it wouldn't suggest that he's going to cause you any problems, but you have to pay these fighters respect.
Yeah, to make your debut against a guy with 50+ pro fights, plus a southpaw, you know, you do have to give some respect to James Dean Fury, also in a 6-rounder instead of a 4-rounder. There are some things that stick out about this debut that James Dean Fury is making.
Last few seconds of the second round, Fury's taken it again, despite the fact he has been caught several times by counter-punches. And we'll now go into the red corner, where we'll hear, I'm sure, very clear instructions coming in from Fury's trainer, Peter Fury.
You're doing too much looking, but you're not doing any work. And look, when you're touching, there's no hard punches coming at the back. Look, don't worry about what's there. Look at the chest, fire straight right. Put your shots in. And look, stop doing this with your hands on the chest. Pick your hands up. Look. Look. Get in, pull your hands up, step, catch, respond. You understand? If that there, you'll be there all day. Yeah? You're not landing, you're not going to 1 or 2 body shots, that's it. Where's your right? Where's your solid shots?
10 seconds,
Paulie is impressed by the number of shots, not impressed though with the quality.
Yeah, you know, right now Fury's just kind of pity-patting along, trying to move the defensive Atroko out of the way, and he's kind of just pity-patting the punches. But what the one problem I see is he pulls straight back afterwards. He'll do this and then he'll kind of stay squared up high. When you throw punches that lightly, you want to also use the last punches of the combination to get you out in the direction you're punching, because you're already punching lightly. You're just tapping to create openings, which is I don't have a problem with. But use those punches to get you out. Instead, you see what he does. He pulls back up high after he's done punching. You're punching that low, use the punches to get you to the new angle. Change the angle.
Certainly not dominating as his trainer Peter Fury, his uncle, as he'd have hoped. And we're in the opening minute of the 3rd round here of our big event here in Leeds, topped by the British and Commonwealth super middleweight title fight. Troy Williamson from Darlington defending against the very popular Barnsley man Callum Simpson, and this is our first fight for you here tonight. James Dean Fury, just 20 years old, against Dimitri Atroko. Fury taking the first 2 rounds, and in the 3rd round it's more of the same.
Yeah, Fury just walking forward, gets caught by another couple of shots, dangerous hooks there again. Peter Fury, his uncle in the corner, was saying to him, don't get lazy, son, don't walk in and just throw a couple of sloppy shots, because Atroko is that guy that is dangerous. He'll come back with a counter, he knows his way around the ring. So Fury does need to stay switched on. Paulie Malignaggi said it himself there, don't get greedy, don't switch off on the inside.
Well, he's right on the inside now, and Atroko with his head on his chest. A couple of lazy-looking hooks from Fury, thrown with any great power. Atroko moves forward into the pocket, as you might say, looking to throw punches in close, and Fury responds with a left hand, right hand of his own, short hooks, but there's no real quality and no real power about the shots he's throwing.
No, dangerous looking right, left hand, over the top there out of the southpaw stance from Atroko. Fury has to be careful he doesn't walk onto one of those, but it's becoming quite tough in there for these guys now, both holding centre of the ring, both looking to trade off with shots, neither man wanting to give up any ground. And as I say that, Fury puts a little cluster of punches together.
Coming into the final 30 seconds of this third round, and Atraco is closer in this round, although I think Fury's still winning this one. Switching to southpaw, throwing right hand, left hand, and his gloves are temptingly held very low for Atraco. And there's a big right hand and a left hand, both solid headshots, and he felt those, Fury. And if he wanted a wake-up call, well, that most definitely is it. And that's been coming because he's been going in with his gloves contemptuously low, and he got caught by two solid headshots falling.
You know, that's the thing. If you're going to be on the inside at that close range, fundamentals are more important. Fighters that break fundamental rules and fight off athleticism typically fight at mid to long range, because at close range, your fundamentals it's more important that they apply. DAZN breaks a lot of fundamentals, DAZN Fury does, but the biggest fundamental he breaks is he's up high with his hands low on the inside, and when he finishes punching, again, he's punching very lightly. I misspoke at the end of the last round when I said when he's punching that low. I meant punching that lightly. If you're going to punch that lightly, use the punches on the end of the combination to get you to step around on the out. That way you're not pulling straight back up high when you're done punching, because Atraco's waiting for you to finish punching, and then he's just throwing some hard punches, and you see the replay here of some good punches Atraco landed. He just waited for Fury to finish punching because he knows he's going to stay up high with his hands low afterwards, right in front of him. Hence why Fury has to use the end of the combination to step around as he's throwing those softer punches. And maybe he'll open things up for harder punches if he does.
Well, he didn't get put down, Fury, but he certainly got stunned by those big headshots, and that was a little bit of a warning as to what might come ahead. If he goes into fights against bigger punchers than this fella, he's going to be in trouble if he gets caught like that.
Yeah, Paulie Malignaggi analysed that perfectly. It is the fact that Fury is switching off after doing his work. He's finishing on the punch and not on the roll, and that's the big problem for him here. He's just got to switch on, because Atraco is just starting to fancy this, just growing into it a little bit. Yes, Fury for me has won the first 3 rounds, but it is becoming closer, it's becoming tougher.
Here we are in the fourth, it's a 6-rounder, and certainly Fury doesn't want to be giving Atraco more opportunities to land unanswered headshots like he did in the closing seconds of the third. And the referee in there scoring this fight will certainly have noticed those. He'll have given the round to Fury, but it was by no means one-way traffic.
Nice work from Fury on the inside there, a couple of loose little uppercuts. Atraco was guilty of switching off himself a little bit there, as both guys tie up centre of the ring. It's becoming a little bit of a physical battle now. Fury was not probably expecting to be drawn into a fight as tough as this in his opening contest as a professional. But
well, if he'd done his stats, he'd have known that this guy is a stayer, and he doesn't very often roll over in the early stages against anybody.
No, he certainly doesn't. Only 2 of his fights have come inside the distance. 2 stoppage losses, that is. And he's been in with a good calibre of opponent, so he knows his way around the ring. Dimitri Atraco.
Atraco with his gloves low now, and Fury snaps out a couple of left-hand leads, tries to follow in with a right hand down the tube, but no great power in it, and Atraco was able to drop it. Nice right-hand counter from the Belarusian. His gloves are low now, inviting Fury to come in and take a few more risks as he does so. Fury does come in, and it winds up being a rather untidy clinch, which the referee allows to split by natural course of boxing.
Yep, you see Fury there, as they were in that clinch, what Paulie Malignaggi was talking about, walking out in straight lines, hands down by his side, and not moving his head, being caught again with that right hook out of the southpaw stance from Atraco. Good shot landed there, sent the sweat spraying from Fury's head. Fury comes back with some jabs of his own, trying to get himself going, find some sort of rhythm, but Atraco growing in confidence here.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people involved with this promotion, I'm sure people close to the Furies would have wanted to see the young lad here make a really sparkling debut. Gets caught by a right hand right on the bell. What do you reckon, Gareth?
Well, I think Atraco is one of those guys, you look at his record in detail, and he can exploit a neophyte like Fury. He hasn't won a fight since 2018. He's lost his last 33. We have to go back to 2018 for the last time he was stopped. So this is a guy, and you can see it. He clearly knows his way around a ring. It's kind of a good opponent in a way, Paulie, for Fury, but he's exposing the things that Fury needs to put right, which is not leaving his chin hanging out and not leaving himself at the end of punches in range.
Yeah, Atrical's the kind of guy, he'll only beat you if he sparks you. You know, if you let him spark you. He'll throw the punch, the occasional punch every once in a while if he sees the opening. Fury's leaving the opening because he's pulling out up high with his hands low every time he's done punching, so Atrical is seeing it. But Atrical is also not going to be active enough for him to beat you. So fighting Atrical will be as easy or as difficult as you want to make it. You'll look as good or as bad as you want to look because he leaves you all the options. The only way he's looking to win is he's looking to be defensively responsible and maybe spark you if he catches you. Otherwise, he's going to lose, and that's why he hasn't won in 8 years.
Harsh to say in an opening fight, but no great evidence so far that Fury is much of a puncher.
Well, it's difficult to tell at the moment. Fury's just one of those guys. It's his debut, you know, he's trying to impress. He's maybe over-trying, and that will affect his performance, that will affect his timing. And he's trying different things there at the moment, switching from orthodox to southpaw, trying to work on the inside. But Paulie's right, it's the fundamentals, you know, it's the simple things. You have to get those right. You can't come out in straight lines against experienced guys because they will expose that. They will, you know, and he's been exposed a couple of times in this contest. Yes, he's winning every round, but he's making a harder fight of it than he should be.
And he came in a straight line right as you were speaking there and walked into a fairly meaty-looking right hand from Atrico. OK, Fury had landed half a dozen before Atrico got in, but nevertheless, he had to take the punch, and it was a solid shot. There's a nice body shot. Good right hand from Fury, but he gets caught again by a right hook counter-punch from Atrico. Tries to throw a right hand of his own. There's a little bit of reddening around the left eye, I think, of Fury. He's taken one or two.
Listen, you can have easier debuts than this one for sure. Atrico landing some good shots again. Fury standing there, and I think there's a cut over the left eye there. There's definitely a reddening there, and I think, John, my eyes are not playing me up, there's a cut there as well.
Well, that's certainly evidence of some of the clear shots that Atrico has been able to get off, and Fury now getting in close, the 20-year-old against the 38-year-old, trying to show that he does have physical strength, but he's not really able to do too much when he gets into that sort of range.
Yep, he just needs to move his head off the shots. That's the difference there. Atrico again countering. Both guys land hooks simultaneously there. With Fury's chin up in the air, he's left it hanging out to dry, and Atrico's made him pay that.
He's done that more than once in this fight, and he really caught him solidly with a left hand and a right hand, and he's coming in now, Fury, trying to regroup, trying to box his way in, switches to southpaw, takes a right hand to the head. As he does so, Atrico gets in close and clinches his man in, and the referee, is he going to have to split them? No, the action continues.
Yep, big right hook again there from Atrico as Fury is caught sleeping on the inside. Both guys feeling the pace maybe a little bit. Atrico again coming the better off with a two there, and maybe doing enough to win this round, Atrico.
Well, he certainly had a better round there, the Belarusian, and may have had his best round of the fight so far. Fury makes his way back into the red corner, where Peter Fury is ready to give him a few home truths.
Why can't you put a hard shot together? What? Listen, OCD, you look. There's one or two couple shots, you're wide open. Look, when he's throwing them and your hands are up, there's no problem. Catch his shot, open him up. I want to see some straight shots down the middle. Do you understand? You tip-a-tapping up and down. Listen, you can beat this fellow with one arm. Put your shots together. Let's see some quality punches. And look, pick your hands up.
Well, he's been told pretty clearly there, Paulie. Straight down the middle.
Yeah, straight down down the middle, but you got to understand your distance. Peter Fury's giving the right instructions down the middle, but you got to understand your right distance. Straight down the middle means you're going to fight at long to mid-range. Right now, James Dean Fury's fought mainly at close range, so there's no straight punches you're going to throw. Also, he's falling in on his front foot constantly, and then when he comes up high with those low hands. And Peter Fury told him, put your hands up. I mean, if you're going to break fundamental rules, understand the distance you should be fighting at. It's a little bit longer. If you're going to be fundamentally sound, then you can fight at a little shorter distance. Fury has a little bit of an identity crisis.
His trainer wants to see some power shots, and that's one thing that we really haven't seen so far from Fury on his debut appearance. We're in the final round now, 6th round of 6, and Dimitri Atrakhau is still very much in there and still capable of landing those dangerous countering hooks if Fury gets lazy inside and drops his gloves.
Yeah, well, that's the problem here, that he's fighting an inside game against a guy that likes to be there. That's where Atrakhau is at his most effective. Fury should be doing what his uncle Peter Fury is telling him in the corner. Drill the right hand through the middle, throw it at mid-range, throw it at long range. Do not get on the inside, because that's where you're making the fundamental mistakes.
He's trying to throw straight shots. He got in, as you were saying, that with one quality right hand, which rocked back the head of the smaller Belarusian. And now Fury's right in front of him. They're going toe-to-toe, and Fury gets caught again with a left-hand, left-hook counter, which rocked his head, but he comes forward once more and beating him with volume of punches. This is better work in this round from James Dean Fury, the Manchester fighter on his debut appearance.
Yeah, I tell you what he's doing here, James Dean Fury. He's grinding this out. He's showing a little bit of character in there, and he has to against a very tough opponent, Atrakhau. But he's really have to bite down on his gum shield as we reach the last minute of this 6th and final round. Fury's going to know he's been in a fight tomorrow, that's for sure.
Well, he's going to try and go out with a real grandstand finish here, I'm sure. Gets caught by a solid right hand and another one from Atrakhau, and that was a classic example of Fury getting in, throwing a couple of pitter-pat punches, dropping his gloves and getting clipped by a really solid right hand, and he's taken another one in close. He's trying to bob and weave, trying to outwork Atrakhau, but he's finding it very tough in the final 20 seconds.
Well, I'll tell you one thing we found out about James Dean Fury is he can take a shot, because he's taken a lot of them tonight, and they have been big shots. He's starting to look a little tired in there as well as he takes a step back. 10 seconds clacker goes, and it's been a tough night here for James Dean Fury.
He's going to try to keep punching right up to the bell, but he's on the receiving end in those last few seconds. And I tell you what, Jamie, he looks dog-tired as he goes back to that corner. He might have won this fight, but he knows he's been in a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he burned way too much energy, throwing all those pitter-pat punches. They didn't really build up to anything. A lot of times when you're using pitter-pat punches, I can remember a guy like Kasim Uma back in the day, if you guys remember him. He used to pitter-pat you on the inside to break open your defense and then throw the harder punches once he broke open your defense. Again, I'll reiterate, it seems like James Dean Fury has a little bit of an identity crisis. Doesn't really know what he wants to do or why he's doing whatever he is doing. Peter Fury tried to give him a couple of good instructions in the corner. Didn't really listen much when he came out in the last round. Even the straight punches, if you notice when he's throwing straight punches, his back foot falls in every single time, so you get no power on your backhand cross if you're lifting your back foot off the ground every time you're throwing it. So a lot of fundamental mistakes, plus getting caught up high with your hands low on the inside. He's a tough kid. He's a Fury. You can see he enjoys a good tussle, a good fight, but there's so many fundamental errors he makes. There's a lot of work to do with him.
Did I call you Jamie? I do apologise. That's probably why you're a little bit slow on the draw.
Yeah, I was slow on the draw. I was looking for a Jamie around here.
Overall impressions then, Spencer?
Yeah, listen, it was a tough debut, and Paulie's right, he was caught between styles there, and I think a lot of fighters are guilty of over-trying to impress. He's got that Fury name. Let's get the result.
After 6 rounds of boxing, we go to referee Mark Lyson's scorecard. It reads 60 points to 54 points in favour of your winner. From Manchester, James Dean Fury.
Well, Fury is victorious. But like I said, sorry, Gareth, like I said, you know, there's a lot of mistakes, a lot of things to work on there. A debut goes one way or the other. You either look sensational and have a nightmare, and that's just the way it is. I thought there'd be a lot more to come from James Dean Fury.
Indeed, another Fury on the way with his pro career, and we'll be on the way chatting more about our main event, Troy Williamson and Callum Simpson, for the super middleweight titles, British and Commonwealth, that are coming up in a little while. You're listening to Fight Night Live on talkSPORT with Sky Vegas. It all starts with a spin. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Look at Real Madrid. Go and look at... This is the point that I think Gabby was making this morning. I know that he was making it regarding trophies and what have you, but look at the brand value.
180 million.
There you go. Right. That's how big that football club is.
Right, that's a lot.
That's how big that is as a worldwide entity. 180 million, and you're talking about him coming to a club that has 32 million followers on Instagram. Again, these are very basic metrics. Very basic metrics. But Vinicius Junior is in a completely different stratosphere. All this talk about him coming to Arsenal throughout the whole course of the summer has just been manipulation from an agent trying to get the dude a few more quid. That's what it is. He was never in a million years going to be an Arsenal player this summer. That's what it is. It's just manipulating the market. Like, see if I can get some more money for my guy. Yeah. Why would he come to Arsenal?
I said that was the agent talk. Just using Arsenal as a
leverage.
A tool.
Yeah. Arsenal are interested. Oh, right, wicked. Brilliant. Arsenal, champions of England. Right, well, let's use them. Yeah. Let's use them. Go back to the table with the Real Madrid lads. Yeah, he's coming out of contract. You know what I mean? He needs a few more zeros on this contract. Yeah. Okay. We're going to sign Yandy Mande. Let's put some pressure on you. No, don't worry about that. Vinny Jr. ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Is it?
Come on. You can't leave. I just don't see leaving Real Madrid as a... Unless, you don't leave Real Madrid unless Real Madrid leaves you.
That's it.
That's it, mate.
Unless you come to the end of your time on your way, son.
Can't have a supermodel girlfriend and you leaving your supermodel girlfriend.
She leaves you.
For the dinner lady. Like, you know what I mean?
The dinner lady! You can't call Arsenal a dinner lady.
Oh, it's love, innit? It's love.
Welcome back to Fight Night Live on talkSPORT. We're here in Leeds for Troy Williamson versus Callum Simpson. The rematch for 2 titles, the British and Commonwealth super middleweight crowns at 12 stone. I'm Gareth Davis. Paulie Malignaggi, the former Italian-American world champion, is alongside me, Spencer Oliver, the Omen, and the great commentator that is John Rawling. Gentlemen, let's get into this fight. We've got 2 more fights coming for that, but let's go back to December last year. It was a grueling affair, and Callum Simpson was way ahead on all 3 judges' cards. Rightly or wrongly, going into the 10th round, Victor Loughlin had him 88-84 up. Rightly or wrongly again, John, I'll bring you in here. Did Callum Simpson, as the boys have alluded to, have the wrong tactics last time out? He's 5 inches taller. He's naturally 2 weight divisions above Troy Williamson. Did he get involved in a roughhouse brawl when he shouldn't have?
Well, yeah, he got dragged into the later rounds, didn't he? I mean, it was clear from the early exchanges that he was technically the better. He had probably greater punch power than Williamson, but he couldn't maintain it for 12 rounds, you know. And the one thing is, when you get into a championship fight, you've got to be prepared. If push comes to shove, you've got to be prepared to go the 12 rounds. And that was where he got caught short.
And Spence, was Lee Every, the referee, wrong if 4 times he was knocked down in that 10th round? I've watched the fight back again several times. When he went down a second time, Simpson in the 10th, he looked out on his feet. Can that affect him badly for this second fight?
Yeah, of course he can. We don't know, you know, how he's going to turn up in this second fight, not just physically, but mentally as well. You know, he has that psychological damage, them demons to deal with going back into this one. And I think the referee let it go too long. I think the fight should have been stopped after the second knockdown. It was clear that he was finished. He had nothing left. And it wasn't that he just got 2 knockdowns. He was getting a systematic beating as well. They were big shots that were going in. He was getting hit repeatedly from the opening round with the straight right hand through the middle, and in the 10th round with the tiredness, the fatigue, he just buckled, he come apart. Now he's got to overturn that. Yes, the bookies have him as a favourite, but I actually think Troy Williamson, who's come up from super welterweight to super middleweight, will have grown into the weight even more. And you've got to remember this one thing, Gareth, and I think that, Paulie, you'll agree with me on this one. When you're coming up from super welter to super middle, when he's doing that ring walk, he doesn't know if he has the physicalities. He doesn't know if he can box at this level. He's lost 4 of his 5. He's thinking about retirement, gets the phone call. He's going in there against the kid that they're talking about to be the next super middleweight champion of the world. He goes in there, and all of a sudden he wins, but he doesn't win. He wins in fashion in the 10th round. Now he's going to be making that ring walk as a gladiator, as Superman, and that will take you to a different level. It propels you to a different level as a fighter. That's why I have Williamson as the favourite.
That's the thing about Williamson. We talk about Simpson didn't box for enough time. He let himself get drawn into a tussle. But you got to give Williamson some of that credit as well. He made things uncomfortable. The way he pressured, the way he systemically cut the distance, closed the gap. Then once in the clinches on the inside, he didn't allow Simpson to rest. He made Simpson feel like he had to fight on the inside when they were on the inside. It was very physical, a little bit bending the rules a little bit dirty on the inside as well. But these are all things that play on your mind and cause mental stress, which can cause physical fatigue as well. Also on the outside, Simpson was doing a little bit too much at times. I thought he was a little bit too jittery, a little bit too bouncy. So he was burning petrol on the outside and on the inside. And a lot of that was because of the nervousness Williamson was making him feel.
So what's our feeling tonight, Spence? It didn't work for him because he didn't have the endurance and stability and resilience to go deep and late into the fight. Does he need to start hard and fast from the mid and distant range and dominate with his jab and dominate with his size and reach advantages?
He's got to find his range early. Tactically, he has to get it spot on, but this is the big word, Gareth, and this is what he needs to do, and this wins him or loses him the fight. He needs to stay disciplined. There was no thought process around his work in the last one. He's going in there, throwing shots like an amateur. There was no thought process there. At this level, you can't do that. Troy Williamson's a wily old fox, and he showed his physicalities on the inside, his strength, his lack of height. He used to his advantage.
He shows his machismo too much last time, in my view.
I wouldn't even say that. A lot of times when fighters get beat, like they say, oh, he was being too macho. Sometimes it's the other guy making you feel so much pressure that he makes you feel like you got to do more. And I felt like it was that. I'm not necessarily sure that it was Simpson being macho. Most of it was Williamson making him feel so much heat that he wanted and get him off him so bad that he fought more than he wanted to.
The 4 of us here, you 2 have been in this scenario physically, mentally, psychologically yourselves. What would you be thinking now in the dressing room? What would you be rehearsing in an hour or so's time that you must do, because if Callum Simpson loses again, presumably it's catastrophic for his world title hopes.
Well, he was in a big position to be boxing for a world title next after the Troy Williamson fight. He's changed trainers, so he's shown you that he's got the appetite. He wants to learn. He wants to move on. He's gone with Rob McCracken. He's gone to the GB setup. He's come away from his home comforts. He's taken himself away from those home surroundings. So he's showing you that he needs that. Rob McCracken, as we know, is a very good tactician. He needs to listen to Rob, stick to the instructions, and that will win him the fight if he's going to win the fight.
Paulie, Rob McCracken was brilliant for Carl Froch in the past, for Anthony Joshua in the past. Right move for Callum?
Listen, a guy like Rob McCracken is never the wrong move. You know, he's got a wealth of experience and a wealth of knowledge. For me, it's very simple here. You know, Simpson, to just simplify the game plan, be a jab-first guy. Make Williamson earn the distance by getting past your jab. Have such a good jab, have such a consistent jab. And you can win this fight just on the jab alone and with the occasional power shot. On the inside, use a smother tactics, force the referee to break, and on the break on the outside, make Williamson work past the jab every single time. I think you make the fight very easy if you have the discipline and mental wherewithal. If you notice on the outside, Simpson last time was so jittery that he was forcing right hands and hooks and everything else. He couldn't just stick with the jab. I remember, I think it was the beginning of the 6th round last time. He started for the first minute just with jabs, and Williamson couldn't get inside. So you can simplify the game plan.
So we've talked about Callum Simpson here. Let's give Troy Williamson his full credit. The 4th of 11 kids. As I say, 4 out of 5 losses over 30 months between December 22 and April 2025. It's a Cinderella man story, so let's give him his props here as well. How difficult is it to beat that kind of guy?
Listen, you got to give him his flowers for that performance, because he was the guy that controlled the space. He took that, you know, he got on the inside of the jab of Callum Simpson. He took those attributes away from him, and that's what wins or loses fights with these sort of fights. When you're at that level.
Pressure busts pipes, that's what they say. Pressure makes diamonds, right? The pressure forced the mistakes out of Simpson. Simpson wanted to be disciplined. He felt too much jitteriness, too much pressure, too much nerves because of the style of Tomlinson, of Williamson.
I think you're going to see a different Williamson this time. The thing I've noticed this week from the head-to-head exchanges, press conference, weigh-ins, etc., is how full of desire Williamson looks. He looks very much the warrior this time. He doesn't act or look like an outsider. He looks like a man who knows that he can beat this guy.
I completely agree with you. You've been up all week, Spencer, and that air of Troy Williamson, the Trojan going to war.
Yep, listen, new lease of life at 35 years of age. You know, winning those titles, he's seen that, you know, he can change his future now. He was talking to me about mental health, pressures, retirement, you know, coming through the bad times, struggling at the weight. He feels like a new man, and he feels like he's there within touching distance of that childhood dream. That makes a difference.
It does, and you feel like a new man as well. So does John tonight. We're going to talk more about that. It's such an enticing main event, but we're going to go back to John now, because Hassan Azim from Slough, undefeated in 9 fights, is taking on Jack Martin of Southminster, 10-2 in a super welterweight contest, John, over 8 threes.
Yeah, he's had a bit of a stop-start career, has Hassan, but he wants to make a statement a little bit tonight. He's been in the shadow of his younger brother, Adam Azim, who's undefeated in 15 fights. Hassan has been a pro since 2021, but this is only his 3rd fight in 3 years. Tonight, up against Jack Martin, a tough customer from Southminster, but Azim, if he does what he can do, and younger brother Adam is up there in the ring as he takes off his tracksuit top, he'll be giving final words of advice as the referee comes across and speaks to him. And now here are the formal introductions.
We are now live and exclusive on the global home of boxing, DAZN, and proudly partnered with Betfred, Riyadh Season, That Prize Guy, Tixa, champion, and IFX payments. This contest, 8 rounds of boxing, sanctioned in the super welterweight division. And your officials, your timekeeper will be Anthony Rushton, and your referee in charge of the action, A-star referee Michael Alexander. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, he wears the white and orange shorts and he weighed in at 10 stone, 12 pounds and 8 ounces. He comes to the ring with 10 wins against 2 defeats and 4 wins, coming by way of knockout. Presenting the former Southern Area champion from Southminster, Essex, Ginger Jack Martin. And his opponent across the ring fights out of the red corner. He wears the black and gold and he weighed in at 10 stone, 13 pounds and 1 ounce. He comes to the ring unbeaten with 9 wins, no defeats, and 5 wins, coming by way of knockout. From Slough, Berkshire, here is Hassan Hitman Aziz.
Referee draws the 2 fighters together to give his final words.
So let's just have a good, clean fight, okay? Most of all, remember to defend yourselves at all times, all right? 2 scores.
Hassan Azim, slightly the taller man, the 25-year-old from Slough. Jack Martin from Essex, 32 years old. Well, he looks 32, going on 50, actually, doesn't he?
He does, but I'll tell you what, he can fight, though, Jack Martin. The only 2 defeats he's had was a tough Junaid Boston, that was back in 2024, and Jordan Dijon was back in 2022.
Camera guy was a little slow getting out of there. The mullet slowed him down getting through those ropes.
Well, the action is underway again, and who's going to be the first to establish themselves in this contest? Left-hand lead from Azim, slightly short of the mark. He's slightly the taller man. He's trained by Khalil Khalid, is Azim, and he catches Martin, and Martin goes down. A right hand did the damage, and Jack Martin, who took this fight as a late substitute, looks very unsteady as he gets himself to his feet, and the referee wanting him to hold his gloves up and wanting to see if he's all right. And I tell you what, he's got 2 minutes to stay in there, and he's down again. A right hand, left hand. He punches the canvas in frustration, and he's going to do very well now to get through this. He's going to Martin be able to do it. Martin gets up, but he's called it off. The referee has said enough to fight all over in the very first round, and Hassan Azim wanted an impressive victory, but it don't come a lot more impressive than that.
No, what a performance there from Hassan Azim, and it's exactly what he was looking for there. Jack Martin was the guy that was put in front of him to give him the rounds. Inactivity from Azim over the last 3 years. You wondered where his career was going, and on that performance, Paulie, I'll bring you in here. That was very impressive. Timing was there, spot on, and his execution was brilliant.
Yeah, Martin is usually a guy who, you know, likes to press the fight, likes to be, likes a good tussle, and can make you look bad because he can make you, draw you into a little bit of a mud fight, you know? I love how Azim forced him to box and set up the power shot, hurt him while Martin was coming forward, walked him into a hook, and then after that, he decided to say, okay, now we're gonna fight. I got you hurt, now I'm gonna fight, now I'm gonna let go of the power shots, and he took him out.
He took him out most emphatically. And poor old Jack Martin, who was the late substitute to take this contest, threw a shot through thin air as he tried to clip Azim with a right-hand counter, but then back came the Slough man with a right hand and a left hand, and Azim was dominating by that stage, and Martin was on his way to the canvas for a second time.
It was the check hook that started the whole thing. You heard him on the check hook, and then followed up with all those, with the combinations and the big power shots.
Yeah, the big check hook took the legs away from Martin, and Hassan Azim recognised it, jumped on him, landed beautifully. There was a worried Azim, May take a couple of rounds to get that ring rust off, find that timing, but boy, he was spot on.
Even a few seconds ago down that replay, you see Azim throwing the right hand, getting his head off center so he can slip the right hand that's being thrown at the same time by Martin, and then he's also in position to whip around with that left hook and hurt Martin again. That was also the final salvo.
Hassan Azim hasn't had the star billing, if you like, that his younger brother has, but he's certainly got an opportunity to move through here now.
Yeah, it's been a stop-start career so far for Azim, who turned pro back in 2021, and he was looking to make a statement. Well, statement made.
Very much so. And in a moment, we'll get confirmation from our Master of Ceremonies. And we wait for him to be signalled in by our television producers. That there were no tactics about that. It was just power from Azim and making the most of the opportunities when they came.
Yeah, very impressive stuff. We all wanted to see what he was like. Was there ring rust? And the answer is no. He went out there and executed a perfect game plan. Adam Azim in the corner,
Ladies
looks very happy. And here's our MC.
Michael Alexander waves this contest off. Your official time, 1 minute and 8 seconds of round number 1. Your winner by TKO, Hassan Hitman Azim.
My word, there's some speed and power in that Azim family, isn't there? Well, we've still got Gradus Kraus, the undefeated Netherlands fighter, who is spoken about in glowing terms and trained by Peter Fury, up against Sean Helphill of New Orleans, USA, and of course our main event, British and Commonwealth Super Middleweight Championship belts on the line when Troy Williamson and Callum Simpson meet again here in Leeds in probably about 45 minutes time. You're listening to Fight Night live on talkSPORT with Sky Vegas. It all starts with a spin. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Chris, what about Man U? I fancy United have a much better season. I think Michael deserves this job, and I do think they're going to be up there. I think they're going to push. I think they're going to be strong.
No, I do. I think I'm so happy to see Carra's just thriving. I think, obviously, having played with him, you know what kind of character he is. He's that composed and he's intelligent, and he's obviously bringing that into one of the biggest jobs in world football. And I think the run they obviously had at the end of last season, obviously in 2026, I think they were like #1 in points taken. So for him to be able to have a full pre-season, bring in whoever he likes in terms of players and just have that belief, I think there's no one better kind of, steering that ship really. And no, I'm excited to see what the season brings for them.
I think it's going to be an interesting season, Chris, all round, because so many new managers. You don't know what to expect. Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs have spent big money as well. Whether they can try and get into that top 4, and obviously the only one with a little bit of stability is probably Arsenal. But it's always hard to retain that title, isn't it?
100%. I think everyone's going to be hungrier than ever, and it is hard to kind of maintain that. You're now the golden ones that everyone wants to compete and to fight against. So I'm happy for United to be able to have that consistency from last season, because like you say, a lot of players are going to be coming, a lot of managerial changes. So I think United's got the perfect start at the minute, and hopefully hit the ground running.
Welcome back to Fight Night on talkSPORT. I'm Gareth Davis, ringside here in Leeds for our main event coming up very soon. Troy Williamson and Callum Simpson, British super middleweight and Commonwealth titles on the line very soon. Next up, though, is Gradus Kraus against Sean Helmhill. But the man who's left the desk right now to take my normal role, he's over there with Kell Brook. It's the one and only Spencer Oliver.
Yeah, thanks, Gareth. Yeah, I am here with Kell Brook. Kell, firstly, I've got to say it, mate. You look in better shape than when you were fighting.
I am telling you now. I don't know what's happened since I've retired. Since I was going to be fighting, taking Ricky Hatton's place, I've continued. I'm loving training. I'm training 7 days a week. It's like I'm on a different level. I'm my frequency. I'm flying.
Dare I say, will we see Kell Brook back in the ring again at some point?
I'm telling you something now, here and now. There's some massive news about to drop, yeah? I'm coming back, yeah? I'm coming back. There's some of the big news. There's going to be a massive fight coming your way.
And are we talking about back in the professional ring?
Back in the professional ring, boxing border control, me in there again, yeah? Me again, coming out of retirement, fighting in a massive...
Give me a little bit more.
It there.
Give me a clue. Give me a clue.
I can't give you a clue because you'll get it. All I'll say to you is we won't be waiting too much longer before we announce a massive fight, yeah? And I'm telling you, it's about done.
Right, listen, so when is that fight expected to take place?
It'll happen this year. It'll happen this year. I don't want to say what month, but it's going to happen this year. And we're going to give the fans another massive, massive, massive fight.
Well, listen, you've got exclusive news there. Kell Brook is actually back in the ring this year. Listen, look, Kell, I want to move on to other fighters in and around that weight. Conor, what weight will you be coming back at, by the way?
Middle, super middle, around them weights.
Nice.
Around them weights.
I'm just trying to work out the opponent, but whilst I'm doing that, I want to talk about Conor Benn. Yeah. He gets his shot up against Ryan Garcia, September the 12th, Las Vegas. Thoughts on that?
It's an exciting fight. I can't wait for it. You know, I'm favouring Garcia. I think that I don't think Conor's at that level. You know, with Garcia's pedigree, he's been in with some big names. He's come through them. He's got that massive left hook. He's got that massive snapping power, and I think he's going to be a little bit too much for Conor Benn.
What would a peak Kell Brook done of Conor Benn back in the 147 days?
Oh, you come on, man. You know, I would have took him apart. I would have dealt with him. You know, I'm not standing here and say Conor Benn like a belt to hold his own. I would have taken care of business. Me, the special one, 147 IBF champ. I'm kicking ass, brother.
Listen, I've been working it out, mate. Whilst we've been doing that 80, I've worked it out. You're coming back for Chris Eubank Jr., aren't you?
Who knows, brother? Who knows?
Oh, I've got a feeling, baby.
You've got a feeling. Yeah, you've got a feeling. It could be. It could be. Who knows? But I'm telling you now, it's going to be announced soon.
Oh, brilliant, mate. Well, we can't wait for that news. Kell, I can't let you go, mate. We're asking you about the big one. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. We know that's going to be taking part sometime soon, probably November, Madison Square Garden. Thoughts on it being in America first?
I would like it here. I think it's the biggest fight that we will have ever have seen. You know, it'd be a shame to be in America, but the politics get involved. You know, if it's there, we'll still tune in. But the times and the British fans not being able to get there, you know, being here, oh, it'd just be so juicy, you know, being here. But what a fight! If that can be made, it has to happen. It has to happen. They're both near the back end of their career, and I think it'd be such a shame them not competing with each other. We are, you know, retiring.
Who wins it?
I'd have to say Fury.
And no, I can't let you go. Before we ask you the prediction for the main event, Callum Simpson tries to right the wrongs of that last contest with Troy Williamson. They go again tonight here. Who do you think wins it?
It's going to be a tough fight. It's going to be a tough fight for both men. You know, I reckon Troy's going to come out fast. You know, and he's got a point to prove. He's saying that he's filled out to super middleweight. So, you know, I'm looking forward to an exciting fight. You know, and Callum, you know, he's got a lot to show us fans. He's got He's got to make it right now. So I think that we're in for a treat, aren't we? It's going to be a barn burner.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, Kel. And Kel, it's always great catching up with you, mate. I'm going to throw it back to you guys, and we've heard it there. Kel Brook, back in the ring this year. Did we hear Chris Eubank Jr.? Did he tell me Chris Eubank Jr.?
No, you're telling porkies as usual, Spencer. Rumour mill again, as always. Listen, guys, thank you, Kel. Thank you, Spencer. Paulie, John, let's get on to Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Let's just pick the bones over the last couple of weeks. You've seen a slightly aging-looking Tyson Fury in Pattaya against Marius Vac. For me, I thought we saw a defensively very frail Anthony Joshua, but obviously offensively very powerful still Anthony Joshua. Let's clear the bones out of this issue you and Eddie Hearn had, Paulie, where he wasn't happy about you saying that the fix was in inverted commas. That you can't fix a fight like that, Paulie. Come on, what were you on about?
No, I mean, listen, back in the day, I think I've heard stories that things like that happen. But Eddie made a good point too. You would, in a day and age where there's a lot of cameras and people have phone cameras and there's technology everywhere, you would have had it on camera somewhere that somebody went to the corner and would have said something. So when he said that, I kind of...
You were alluding to the whispering in the corner rather than it being...
Yeah, but the whispering is one thing, but it's also you would see somebody from the commission or whatever going to that corner and letting them know something. You don't have that. You don't have that on camera at all. Plus, Prenga's reaction post-fight that I saw in an interview with Boxing King, he was genuinely emotional. He was crying. He was. It really meant the world to him.
The things here, John, that we've got to go over are where, when, and how long are we going to have to wait for this fight? Because people are getting very, very impatient about the where and the why.
Well, I'm pretty sure that they'll do it in November. And people who are saying, oh, you know, give Anthony Joshua another fight, I think that would be just putting the guy in walking on thin ice, because a very clear interpretation of what we saw in that first round is as he's shot to pieces. You know, he took no punches whatsoever, and he was quite literally one solid shot away from being put away.
Overwhelmingly, my barometer when I'm out and about at the moment is people don't want to see this fight in America, that it has to be here, and that it rightfully should be here, and that Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua, Spencer, are putting their foot down over this.
Absolutely. Listen, Anthony Joshua wants this fight here. He wants to give it back to the British fans that built Anthony Joshua, that built Tyson Fury.
So shall we risk Wembley in November? Because it has to be now.
When we risked Tyson Fury versus Dillian White, did we?
Chisora in December.
Chisora, Tyson Fury, Derek Chisora.
So let's go ahead and do it,
Tottenham
yeah?
Stadium, so let's do it.
But in the UK outdoors.
Guys, I think they're just making it a conversation point by saying it's in New York. There's no rational reason for me to ever believe that it was ever going to be in New York. I think they're doing that just so we get this conversation right here. Conversations like this happen where people are just appalled and keep talking about the fight and promoting the fight this way. It makes absolutely no sense. I will not believe it's in New York until I see them in the ring in New York. Tax reasons, less popular in America as well. Absolutely, I don't believe it until I see it in New York.
Is there a danger, all three of you, if this gets delayed, apart from what might happen in the ring, if this gets delayed to March, by August the 30th, we may be into the Moses Talma era by then, and people may not even care.
Could very well be. That looks as though it's just coming up. If he does a job on Ergovic, then that potentially is very much the case. And I always run a barometer, you know, by talking to my mates down the local. And I tell you that a hell of a lot of them are sick and tired of all the posturing from both sides. They want to see it now, and they don't in any sense want to see it as much as they would have done 3 years ago.
We all want to see it. We're involved in the industry. It's an era-defining, book-ending fight. They are in the latter stages of their athletic careers. I just hope it doesn't go wayward and go AWOL. It really would be a travesty.
I think it's become evident, isn't it, that we saw both of their performances and they look well past their best, both of them. Like you say, the punch resistance of Anthony Joshua just didn't seem to be there. The vulnerabilities were there. He was leaving himself wide open. He was making fundamental mistakes. Tyson Fury equally against Marius Wack, a 46-year-old that had won 2 of his last 8, was getting caught with shots that he would never have been hit with. The fate was no more.
We'll get back to Fury and Joshua in a minute. The ring walk, guys, of Gradus Kraus with his daughter, who's just come behind us here. It's an extraordinary thing, isn't it, John Rawling? This guy is really developing a fan base, trained by Dennis Crowell, who also trains Rico Verhoeven and Peter Fury. John.
Yeah, they love him, don't they, in the Netherlands? He's going to be introduced now by our Master of Ceremony, and it was a very touching sight as his daughter, who must be, what, 4 years old maybe, Gianna, she danced in towards the ring, walking alongside him, and then just hoisted over the barriers right behind us, and she's now sitting there wondering what Dad's going to do.
Title. Your supervisor for this contest is
Albert Kraus. Gradus Kraus, his father, is a very decorated boxer and kickboxer as well. Very famous in Holland. There's a documentary. She's making a film, as she did, about Rico Verhoeven. It's interesting, isn't it, that he's starting his development career in the UK and trying to be a UK star.
Well, yeah. Looks spectacular here tonight, then of course the British fans are going to start to recognise him as well. The fact that Peter Fury is there in the corner, a very wise and widely respected man as his trainer, and these are the introductions for the man who's fighting him tonight, Sean Hemphill from New Orleans, 30 years old, with just 3 defeats in 22 fights. Bags of experience, and he thinks that he's slick enough to create a problem here. Hemphill, the American, bows to his supporters and to the TV camera, and now the introduction of Kraus.
Out of the red corner, he wears the black and orange, and he weighed in at 12 stone 6 pounds and 2 ounces. His record is a perfect one, consisting of 11 wins, and 10 of those wins come by way of knockout, and all 10 of those knockouts come in 2 rounds or less. Presenting the IBF European Light Heavyweight Champion from Oost, Netherlands, Gradus the Champ.
10 of his 11 wins inside the distance. A man who can punch. And I tell you what, he certainly looks the part. Tanned, blonde hair, slicked back, superbly conditioned, and now looks straight into the eyes of Sean Hemphill. And what do you reckon the keys are going to be for this one, Spencer?
Well, Kraus, as we know, is a fast starter. He had 7 of his first fights came inside 2 rounds, so he's quick out the blocks. And Hemphill, he knows his way around the ring as well. He's had some good wins in his career. Beat Mark Jeffers previously, so this could be an interesting fight, but expect a fast start here from Kraus.
Well, Hemphill can move. He's a well-balanced fighter, and he's already using the full periphery of the ring, making Kraus plough forward, looking to cut the ring off and find an opportunity to throw his power shots. He's ranked number 11 by the IBF. Gradus Kraus turned pro after failing in his attempt to qualify for the last Olympics, and then won 8 in his first year as a pro, and already is making very favourable impressions. Here he comes now, lands a good uppercut and a left into the body. Hemphill takes them and doesn't even blink as he does so.
Yep, he's tough. Hemphill, he's been around the block, but a big right hand goes there, and Hemphill's legs are in desperate trouble, and Kraus has sensed that big shot's going in again. Right hand lands, and Hemphill's legs have buckled here.
He's looking to take him out, and the referee stopped it. The referee stopped it in the opening round, and little Gianna, who's sitting behind us, her face wreathed in smile, she is raising the roof and causing the cheers to reverberate around this arena here in Leeds. And Gradus Kraus, in our main support fight, has stopped Sean Hemphill in the very first round. And it was a terrific right hand into the side of Hemphill's head, which caused the legs to stiffen, and sign of a good fighter. When he got his man going, there was no way he was going to back off. Paulie.
Yeah, you know, you look at Kraus's record and you say he's a puncher. Well, that right hand, the way the damage it did, the effect that it had on Hemphill instantly, it changed the dynamic of the round right away. Hemphill was trying to start slow, use the ring a little bit, sort of start to flow his way into the fight, start to gradually move his way into the fight a little bit, trying to see what Kraus had. As soon as Kraus landed that shot, his legs instantly went, and he got himself back into the corner. The mistake Hemphill made, though, is he doesn't hold here. He doesn't hold, he stays up high on the ropes. Bad survival tactics. You got to either get low on the ropes here, or you got to hold, or both. Instead, he stays up high, also tries to throw in between, but staying way up too high against a power puncher that just hurt him. And Kraus, like you said, with the finishing skills, is not going to let you get away with that.
And the referee was right to stop it, Spencer.
Oh, yeah, of course. Listen, the referee's in there to do a job, defend himself at all times, and he wasn't defending himself at all, Hemphill. And Paulie's right. I think the pride got in the way there. As you hear the crowd roaring, Gradus Kraus has his daughter in the ring now, and they are absolutely loving that. She's a big part of his ring walk. She's in there with her dad now. It was a sensational performance. Yeah, but Hemphill was guilty there of letting pride get in the way. Should have took a knee, regrouped, recovered, and come back.
Spencer, you're always so kind. I am not so kind. When I see guys who should box like Simpson, instead they accept the fight, I like to think that they're not good enough to box a guy with that kind of pressure. Well, tonight, here with Hemphill, you said he's too brave, he tried to fight. No, I don't think he was intelligent enough to think to hold in that moment. He panicked, and he started to try to trade.
I thought it was a very merciful stoppage by John Latham, frankly. It was right ahead of us, 2 feet away, 3 feet away from our commentary position. There was a tsunami of punches coming in.
Heavy shots as well, you know. I think what we saw there from Kraus is that he has really good power. This was a step up in opponent here in Hemphill, who boxed and lost to people like William Skull, who boxed Canelo. He lost to him on points. He beat Mark Jeffers, who's a great fighter himself. Lost closely to Ty Mitchell last time out on a split decision. This guy knows his way around the ring, but Kraus showed there that he delivered power, and he can carry that up into the levels of boxing.
Well, we'll see how far he goes. He's promoted in this country by Izzy Asif, Sheffield-born promoter, and I'm sure he hopes that he's going to prove to be a very, very big hit indeed. And as I say, he looks the part. His little daughter is up there in the ring, right alongside him, and here she'll love to hear this.
Referee John Latham weighs this contest off. Official time, 1 minute and 3 seconds of round number 1. Your winner and now the new WBA Continental Light Heavyweight Champion from Oost, Netherlands, Gradus, the champ.
While Spencer goes off to find our next interview, it could be Gradus Kraus, could be Peter Fury. John, Paulie, if I can get you off your phone for 1 second. When you see a guy with this kind of speed, talent, power and tenacity, when you look at the light heavyweight division, and we know we've got the likes of Ben Whittaker, they're building this guy in the UK. We've got Dimitri Bivol. If David Benavidez comes back down to light heavyweight, Artur Beterbiev, it excites the mind, doesn't it?
It does excite the mind, but this guy, you know, we got to still see a little bit more of him, but this power seems genuine and real. That's I got to say. He's got dangerous punching power.
Who are you texting right now? Come on. Are you trying to matchmake him against one of your mates?
Well, people are talking about this guy. They want to see. They're starting to mention names already, you know. But I don't know. I think it's a little too early to put him in with some big names. You know, you mentioned Whitaker, who's very advanced skill-wise, but this guy's got scary power, and we've seen Whitaker get a little bit suspect when he goes up against guys who are.
Does he not raise his game though, John, against better opponents, Ben Whitaker?
Yeah, he does, and I think so far as Kraus is concerned, yeah, we've seen a spectacular win here tonight. But give him a bit more time. He's only had 11 pro fights. He's got some learning to do yet. Different styles, different types of fighter, and people who are a lot more durable and with more sort of ring savvy at survival than Sean Hemphill proved to be.
Yeah, in good time, there'll be guys like Josh Boazzi, even Callum Smith. There are guys here on the domestic level that are you know, still big names and still kind of floating around the upper echelon of the light heavyweight division.
It's a fascinating division, light heavyweight, frankly, isn't it? Because when you look at Dimitri Bivol as the IBF champion right now, and I mentioned Ben Whitaker, he's fighting Conor Wallace. They're 2 and 3 with the IBF right now. Whitaker isn't far away himself from challenging for world title honours.
Everybody forgets Anthony Yard. You know, I think Yard would be a good fight for this guy, because they're two guys who can both bang.
Yep, good barometer.
You know, and that would be a really good learning fight and an exciting one to see.
Absolutely agree with you.
Yeah, that would be a good barometer. I don't know what Yard has left, but you can test it out against a guy like this. Yard is at the point in his career where he's going to keep fighting. He probably has to be the gatekeeper for guys like this.
It's always good to get that opinion across the pond, apart from the fact that you're very erudite as both a person, a dresser, and a speaker, Paulie Malinessi, that Ben Whitaker, for me, could be one of those guys. There are no British fighters in the Ring Magazine's top 10 pound for pound right now. Could Ben Whitaker be our next guy to enter that level?
At the pound for pound level, listen, he's got pound for pound talent. We got to see if he's got pound for pound character. With the Americans, are a little bit less forgiving of the performance that he showed, the character trait that he showed against Cameron. But he does have an amazing talent within him, and it can go far.
John, you and I have been around a really long time covering boxing and commenting and writing about it. You were obviously the Guardian's correspondent many years ago, as well as the athletics correspondent. You've seen great athletes and fighters in your time. How highly do you think Ben Whitaker can go in your moniker in terms of being an elite fighter?
Well, I think he's exciting. You know, whether he's absolutely at the elite level, time will tell. You know, he's got flash moves, he's a crowd pleaser or a crowd irritator, and he certainly gets noticed. Whether or not he's going to get to the very elite level of the sport, that remains to be seen. I don't think he's a Roy Jones, for instance. You know, he's
there's only one Roy Jones.
Sure, he's a talent, but whether he's going to be an absolutely elite talent, I think it's still too soon to tell.
Yeah, I agree. You know, and you're coming up the ladder. He's improving, getting better. He's looking more and more impressive as he goes through. But again, once you have that question mark about his character, you got to wait until there comes an opponent good enough to test that character once again.
Well, we're talking the talk, and the man who was walking the walk in there against Sean Helpin just now is with Spencer Oliver. Gradus Kraus is just about to be with Spencer right now. Over to you, Spencer.
Yeah, cheers, Gareth, from here with Gradus Kraus. Now, well, Gradus, talk us through that, mate, very quick.
Yeah, what I said, I trained hard, my performance was good. I was ready, and I landed clean punches, and I knocked him out in the first round.
Listen, he's a guy that's been in there with some good fighters. He's beaten some good fighters as well. We was expecting to see you get those rounds, but that execution there, the delivery was perfect.
Yeah, for sure. I want to make rounds, but you see, I'm too good for these guys, and I know I'm the best in the world. I will be a future world champion, so I can't wait to step up in the ring against like a Bivol or names as that. So, and then I show the world that I knock them also out because my power is too much.
Yeah, listen, you've got that world ranking now and you're moving up very rapidly, but what would be the progression for you? What would be the natural steps? You talk about the big names like the Bivols, the Better BFs, them guys are there, but we've got like Ben Whitakers, them sort of guys.
Everybody is welcome, and I will show the world that I knock the people out, because what I say, I'm the strongest puncher in the light heavyweight, and I will you will see very soon that I knock the people out.
Well, I've got your promoter here as well. And Ben, I've got to bring you in here, mate. I've got to bring you in here. Talk to us about that.
I'm telling you right now, this is the best light heavyweight in the world. I'm telling you that right now. And you'll laugh at every single time. No one does that to Sean Hemphill. No one. Power in both hands. The most ridiculous fighter I've ever promoted. I'm telling you right now, he's going to unify the division. People are going to run, and he's going to do that every time. Incredible. This is an incredible athlete.
Ben Shalom, tell us what would the natural next step for him be? You know, you had people like Ben Whittaker in your stable before. He's now moved on. Are they the sort of people that you're chasing?
Listen, he'd fight any of them tomorrow. I think they all know how good he is. I think ultimately he came in tonight, he had a broken hand. In his last fight, he broke his hand. We put him in with Sean Hemphill. I was worried about tonight. I've had Sean over here twice, causing upsets twice. This guy's phenomenal. I think we want the biggest test possible. We want to win world titles. We're good looking at that IBF route where they will order mandatories. I know Ben's in there as well. It's an inevitable clash. But I believe this is the best guy. 24 years old, fucking 25 years old. The youngest, the best, the one with the most potential, 100%.
Gradus, look, we only see you for little over a minute there. You got the job done, you got it in style. When would you like to be out again?
What will be?
When would you like to be boxing again?
Oh, so fast as can. I hope in October, because now I go back, spend with my family, and again, train in the gym twice a day, very hard. And the next fight I will be better myself. So I'm ready for everybody, and I keep saying I'm different, and everybody will see it very soon.
He's headlining next, a big arena. But I just want to put into context what he just did there. Mark Jeffers lost, went the distance. Ty Mitchell, fantastic fighter. A lot of people felt he lost, went the distance. He just does him in one round. Unheard of, mate. Unheard of. That's
brilliant. Well, listen, Gradus, tonight belongs to you, my friend. Well done. Brilliant performance. Guys, back over to you.
Well, we've still got the main event to come, of course, British and Commonwealth Super Middleweight Championship between Troy Williamson and Callum Simpson. But we're going to go to break now, but we will be back with that next. You're listening to Fight Night Live on talkSPORT with Sky Vegas. It all starts with a spin. 18+, gambleaware.org.
But the Vinny Jr. one was a audacious attempt, to say the least.
Big word for you.
I've been learning this book that I've been reading. They've got these big words in. I'm trying to keep them in my brain. No, but it was always going to be tough shit, man. Like Vinny Jr. leaving Real Madrid to come to Arsenal, it just doesn't sound right. As Arsenal fans might get angry, I'll say it, but like, imagine Neymar Jr. at Barcelona. He's not going to leave Barcelona for Arsenal. They're always going to come to an agreement. Real Madrid aren't going to let a talent like that at 26. Do you know what I mean? What's he worth on the market? I know he's got a year left, but what's he worth, Vinny Jr.? Over 100 million easily. Real Madrid are never going to let that go. And Vinny Jr. in his mind won't want to leave Real Madrid. Imagine the crowds in Brazil, the people that love Vinny Jr. because he plays for Real Madrid. I just can't see it.
Well, that is interesting because it was my understanding that it was if he wanted to leave Real Madrid. There's never been a he wants to leave Real Madrid.
He's not said it, has he?
He's looking for the right offer. He's looking at Mbappe going, can I get money close to that? Can I get a deal close to that? And if they're not going to give me what I deserve, then yes, I would be interested in what Mikel Arteta is doing. And don't get me wrong, Arsenal are a massive club and they are on the verge of winning the Champions League. They're looking to go back-to-back Premier League champions. They absolutely can, right? They can. So, and I think he would get them over the line, but he's Vinicius Jr.
Welcome back to Fight Nights live here on talkSPORT. Troy Williamson and Callum Simpson about to fight soon for the British and Commonwealth Super Middleweight title. We've been joined by the promoter making his own debut tonight on DAZN in Leeds. You've got BBC and DAZN. How did you pull that one off, Ben Shalom?
Resilience. No one wanted me to have it, but no, I just didn't give up. And to be honest, it's been a difficult year in many ways, but we had to get deals quickly, and we got them quickly. And I'm so excited. We're going to have a really strong end to the year, and it's a new chapter. It's a real new chapter. And to have BBC, which is, I think, really important for the sport, especially in this country, but to add DAZN to that now, where we can make the huge fights, the global fights, is incredible.
We've had a great night already. We're looking forward to the main event. I've got to ask you, I've watched from afar because I wasn't up here, but you launched a very strong polemic this week in many interviews against Dana White and Zuffa Boxing. Can you hit the nail on the head and just tell us exactly what is disturbing you about the moves that they are making?
I think it's more the disrespect for the pyramid in this country. I don't mind it in the US in terms of that's not where I'm passionate about, that's not where my heart is, that's not where I grew up. I got given opportunities to this sport at 23 years old because there was a pyramid scheme that allowed me to get my promoter's license, that allowed me to compete, that allowed me to sign fighters, that allowed me to go and win British titles or Commonwealth titles and create fighters out of nowhere, and I was able to create a career for myself out of that. And I love that competitive nature. And even when I was irritating Eddie and Frank, they would play by the rules. If my fighter was in a mandatory spot, I get the opportunity. And so for me, it's like the reason why British boxing's been so successful is the competitive nature between the British promoters, but all playing by the same system. I just don't like it because I love this sport. I don't like any sport in this country, governed in this country, owned in this country, that to be exported. I like it to be governed by people that care about the sport in this country, and I don't believe they do, and that's it.
But is it not now a global market rather than a localised market?
Listen, it is a global market, but coming into the very fabric of the British boxing, of the British sport, of our pyramid system, that's something I'm uncomfortable with. And all I want is the board to say, if you promote in this country, sign up to our rules. That's it. That's all I want. Everyone play by. I want competition. I want money coming to the sport. But let's all play by the same rules. Let's have fair competition, as we should in any sport. Let's encourage other promoters to come through. You know, who's the next one? I want someone at 22 years old, 23 years old to have the same dream I had. So I want everyone to play by the same rules, everyone to subscribe to the same titles and belt systems and southern areas, and invest into the grassroots and go and do the local shows and go and build the local stars. That's what I think British boxing's all about and why we've been so successful.
Do you understand where he's coming from, Paulie?
Yeah, but you got a better chance of seeing Picks fight and seeing Dana White play by the rules. Dana White's never played by the rules.
Yeah, but the thing is, let's say MVP and Jake Paul and Nikisa Bidarian are really growing at the moment. What if Jake Paul came to you and said, I want you to work with me, with Netflix, with ESPN?
Jake Paul, in fairness to him, or those guys, in fairness to them, are playing within the boxing rules. They are getting their fighters titles, getting their fighters opportunities. I've got a fight
women's boxing.
I've just got a fight ordered. I think the WBC interim title been ordered between Fran Hennessy and Ebony Bridges. That can happen. Those belts exist so that can happen. And so it doesn't matter what promotional company you're signed to as a fighter. If you're good enough, you'll get those opportunities, and that's what needs to happen. And they play by it. That's all.
Is there a danger then that elision of Turki Al-Sheikh, Salah, TKO Boxing, Nick Khan could put a kibosh on boxing in the years to come?
And the reason I'm saying it is not from a business point of view. I've gone past that. It's not about business. If I wanted to play a smart business move, I'd keep everyone happy. I'm just concerned. Don't devalue the British title. Don't devalue these things. They're valuable. We're all dreaming of winning them. That's what makes the sport a beautiful sport. And everyone wants the same thing. And I don't. And that's why we've been successful in this country. We don't need people coming in 3,000 miles away to tell us how to run our sport. We run our sport.
You hear that, Mr. Malinesi? Never mind, I'm just teasing you. We've talked about AJ and Fury tonight. Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. What's your feeling about it? Should it happen sooner rather than later? And should it happen in the UK?
First answer is Anthony Joshua hasn't probably shown us any signs that in the past year or two that he's capable in a fight like that, and I mean that in the most respectful way because I love him and I think he's been fantastic for the sport. That's first thing. Second thing, if it happens, the fact that it might not happen in the UK is honestly, if you'd have told me that 2 years ago, I'd have laughed at you.
Paulie doesn't reckon it's in New York, do you?
I don't give a shit. Okay, shame on anyone involved if it doesn't happen in the UK. Yeah. And this whole thing, oh, we'll go where the money is, that just shows what you are as a person. We don't want that in here. I'm sorry, I think it's a disgrace. I think it's a disgrace. We don't go, not with the two biggest British fighters that have been built in this country, that have built the sport in this country. We're not just going to sell it off to the highest bidder. It should be happening here. Don't care.
Apologies for the language, although I hear the passion there coming out. Final one, because I think they're about to walk pretty soon. What we're going to see, brilliant rematch between the underdog, Troy Williamson, the Cinderella man, against the thoroughbred, if you like, Callum Simpson tonight.
Two brilliant fighters, two great men, two guys that have done it the hard way. I think Troy will be really confident coming in tonight after what happened last time, and he looks extremely confident. He's going to try and come and take Callum's head off again. Callum has to be sensible and have a cooler head than last time and just box and use his ability. That's why Rob McCracken's in the corner. You don't get a more experienced head, and that's what we'll see him through. If it becomes a war and it becomes a scrap and he gets emotional, the same could happen again.
Marriage is treating you well, my friends.
Well, no, I had a nice break, but I just don't care anymore. So
it's great to see you, Ben, as always. Thank you so much. Great to be here with you. Great show tonight. And ringside, I'm crossing to the Omen, who's with another guest.
Yeah, I'm with another couple of guests. I've got DAZN here and the newly crowned WBO middleweight champion, Denzel Bentley. And what am I looking at here, boys? I'm looking at these microphones and it says Dan and Dens. What's going on?
Dan and Dens TV, man. Today, we've taken off the gloves and we're podcasters. We're doing a live reaction today for the main event. And, you know, we're enjoying it so far, so we're enjoying our new job.
So, I get it. You win a world title and then you're trying to take my job. Great. That's brilliant. I've known you that long. And then Dan Aziz, let me bring you in as well, mate. How's things with you?
Say that again?
How's things with you, mate?
Everything's all good. I'm enjoying the new job and enjoying my ringside seats, you know, with a world champion, so, yeah.
Listen, you're up here for the fight tonight. It's a tough one for Callum Simpson. He goes over old ground. You know, do you think that he's got the capabilities to turn it around with Troy Williamson?
I do think he can turn it around, but I'm not sure he will. I don't see what else he's going to add to his game unless Troy's just overlooked him this time and thought, I stopped him last time, I'm going to get him early this time. Then Simpson has a chance to kind of get it back, but I think it might be repeat. I like Callum Simpson, he's a great fighter, but I think it might be repeat. I think Troy's got his number.
I'm going to go for revenge. I don't think Callum would be so eager to take the rematch if he didn't think that I know I can beat this guy, or, you know, that I just need to work on a few things, because if it was that case, he could have gone up to light heavy or something, but I think Callum Simpson is with Rob McCracken and he'll come back and revenge it.
Brilliant. Well, listen, Dan, I've got to ask you, mate, what's going on with you? Are we going to see you back in the ring again? Where's your career at right now?
I'm just looking for a couple options. Hopefully should be out October, September.
Brilliant. Well, we look forward to that, mate. And Denzel Bentley, WBO champ, mate, who's on your hit list? You was the hunter, now you're the hunted.
I love it, man. I'm the hunted. I got guys calling me out left, right, and centre.
He said he wants Hamza. He wants to go up and get Hamza.
I did say that. I would love to go up and fight Hamza, but let's get a defence in. I love to fight. Aaron McCann's fighting tonight. Good luck to him. If he wins, we can, you know, that's a unification back there. Me and Carlos Adamus have been going back and forth on Twitter. I'm not sure if anyone's seen it, but I'd love that fight. Or I'd love Liam Smith, Chris Eubank, any of those names. I think they're all, you know, realistic fights now, but after that one defence, I do want to move up and fight Hamza. He is right, I did say that.
Listen, I see one Kell Brook here as well. He's looking a little bit beefy and in good shape, but he's fancying a return. He said there's a big name. That ain't you, is it?
No, I think it'll be that, no disrespect, but I think it'll be a bit disrespectful to call someone out like Kell Brook. He's been retired for years, British boxing legend. Take my hat off to him, I just show respect, but yeah, he's not someone I'll call out, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, well, listen, we can't wait to see you back in the ring, my friend. And how good is it, by the way? Known you a long time. You've always been chasing the who needs him, who wants him, club chairman and all that. Now, you've got your opportunities everywhere.
Yeah, man, it feels great, man. I just got to stay locked and stay focused and capitalise on this opportunity. Now I'm in a good position. I got to make sure, you know, I do the best I can while I'm in this position. So I'm enjoying it. I'm in history now. I'm a world champion, and I love it.
Yeah, and we love it as well, mate. It's beauty and hard work pays off, mate. And you put that hard work in. On that note, boys, back over to you.
Thank you very much, Spencer and Denzel Bentley and Dan Aziz. One says repeat, one says revenge. In our main event, Troy Williamson and Callum Simpson about to make the lonely walk soon. One of the things that I suppose, Paulie, Callum Simpson can take from the first fight is that on the 3 judges' cards going into the 10th round, he was 87-84, 88-84, and 86-85 up.
Yeah, but 4 knockdowns later, he wouldn't have been up anyway if he would have survived the round. So what he's got to take out of it is how can he have the same advantage in the fight while being able to conserve more petrol to finish the fight. You know, there's a couple of different options you can go to as far as opinions you can go to as far as why he didn't have the energy to close the fight. Is it that he burned too much petrol? Was he too jittery? Did the pressure get to him too much? Did it make him too nervous and make him work too hard early on to get that advantage? Did he have to work too hard to get that advantage? Or is it a little bit of also, did he struggle to make the weight, which tends to have an impact on your late round stamina? And that's one of the questions.
He's a huge 12th zone man.
Yeah, and Williamson has brought that up again. He said, I know you struggle to make the weight. He's going to be banking on Simpson fading late again. Only Simpson knows how he made the weight, and if he did struggle to make the weight, then late round stamina is a question mark.
From the way out, I picked Simpson to get the fight this time, but you know what? The more the week's gone on, the more I wonder whether the Williamson actually has his number. Spencer is doing the rounds. I'm jealous because I'm normally doing it. He's with the one and only Peter Fury.
Thank you, Gareth. Yeah, I can see you sitting there banging the desk there, frustrated that I'm out here doing your job. Caught up with Peter Fury. Peter, firstly, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, thank you, good.
Brilliant. Listen, we start off with James Dean Fury. Maybe not the start he wanted. I heard you in the corner. We were coming in between rounds, and I heard the frustration from you telling him to stick to the game plan, keep it long, but he made a fight of it, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. I think he was over trying to impress. First fight. And, you know, look, these journeymen, they're out every week, 60 fights. It's his first debut, southpaw, low. He was always going to be awkward. But I just told him he was doing light shots, not putting no power behind, throwing punch, keeping his hands down, you know, doing silly things really. But I put that down to the debut, the pressure and the experience of it all. I think that's what it is.
Listen, I know there's a new clan of Furies that are coming through now, and he's the first one of those, that new clan. Talk to me about the roadmap for him. How often? Because we know the Furies like boxing often as well.
Yeah, we want him out there. I think Boxer's going to put him on every show. That's getting busy. He's got the first one out the way, and he knows what it's about now. Because you can spar all you want, you know. This is the pro ranks. Now he's tasted a good 6-rounder. He's took some punches as well. So yeah, he'll only get a lot better, but basically a lot of mental stuff going on in there.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of pressure on his shoulders. Yeah. Always good to get them rounds in the bank. First one out of the way, and we look forward to continuing his career. Got to ask you about Rico Verhoeven. You know, there must be a world of opportunities out there, and I saw Overeem actually calling him out as well. Alistair Overeem was saying it would be the biggest fight in Dutch history if them two got in the ring. Could we see that?
I think Rico, he needs credible names in boxing. And I see Rico hopefully in a big fight soon this year.
And have you been having conversations with anyone?
I spoke to the team, yeah, and you know, they've got various offers on the table, and they're seeing what's best and what's best to take next.
All right, what about the rematch? Is that ever been a possibility? Because, I mean, he pushed Alexander probably closer than anyone has.
Yeah, I don't think Usyk is interested in that. I think he's looking to move on and do something else. We're not looking at Usyk for the rematch now. He's looking elsewhere because that fight is not on the table. So now he's looking at other options. And as you say, there's various options open to him.
Yeah, listen, I want to talk to you a little bit now as well about Gladius Kraus. Talk to me about that performance there. It was, you know, we didn't expect it to be that quick.
Yeah, Gladius is a monster in the ring. And, you know, I think he's going to swipe through the division. He's going to shock a lot of people. So this guy is seriously powerful and he's tough as well.
Wait, so how quick do you see him moving there? We know he's got a good world ranking there. He's talked about, Ben Shalom talked about it as well, saying we want the big guns, we want the big names now. The Ben Whitakers, any of them guys will go through them like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah, definitely. Them fights need to be made and he's ready for them fights now. So if we can get them fights, perfect. But if not, Gradis is chasing a world title next year.
Brilliant. Well, we look forward to that. And I can't let you go without asking you about the main event here. Callum Simpson versus Troy Williamson. Repeat or revenge? How do you see it going, Peter?
You know, I think it's all who comes with the right game here. But Troy Williamson, he's a rough, tough man, and he can punch as well. So it just depends what adjustments Callum's made. But, you know, got to give credit for Callum for taking that rematch. And, you know, he could pull it, you know, it's a 50-50 this. And I say that because should he be going straight into that rematch? But, you know, if he's altered his game, they know what they're doing. I think we're in for a great fight.
Brilliant, Peter. Always great speaking to you. Always give us such a brilliant insight as well. We look forward to seeing you back in the corner very soon. Maybe with Rico Verhoeven against a big name. We really look forward to that. Thanks, Peter. Back over to you guys.
Thank you, Spencer. You're listening to Gareth A. Davis on Fight Night Live here alongside Paulie Malignaggi, the Italian-American former world champion, and John Rawling, our esteemed commentator. Gents, before these two men walk, we've focused a lot on Callum Simpson tonight, but I just want to talk about this story, this Cinderella Man story involving Troy Williamson. You look at what he went through, 3 defeats to top-level fighters. Kevina Jarko, who's just put Josh Kelly through the mixer, but came out second best. He lost to Ishmael Davis. He lost to Josh Kelly himself, but he bounced back. When you get that kind of victory, I was looking at your record where you lost to 3 top-level contenders and then came back and won your next 2 or 3. Towards the end of your career, Paulie, what do you have to gain in yourself to come back against someone that's had a Cinderella story like that?
Well, I think what it is as fighters, you know, we're always trying to get that one more, and we're always trying to prove the doubters wrong, you know, and the worst thing that can happen and the most addicting thing that can happen is you prove the doubters wrong once or twice. Now, every time you have doubters, you're going to say, I proved them wrong before. They've been wrong. I don't have to listen to them. And that self-belief can sometimes lead you to accomplish special things, but it's also can lead you to down a wrong path and down a bad path as far as defeats are concerned, as far as getting hurt. It's a fine line in combat sports, but that self-belief right now has been what Williamson has used to get that big upset of Simpson, and now everybody's on his bandwagon.
Because those 4 names, you lose to Adrian Broner, you beat Zab Judah, you lose to Sean Porter, you lose to Danny Garcia. We are talking at the time elite level fighters in the division.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, even there was another point in my career earlier where I lost to Ricky Hatton. I got a little comeback win, and then I got robbed in the Juan Diaz fight, you know, and I had all of a sudden I've lost 2 out of 3 to high-level contenders, but, you know, I still feel like I'm good. And, you know, people are gonna, you know, give you the doubt, and I'm sure Tomlinson has heard it, you know, but you know, in your mind, you know you only lost to good fighters, you know you can still compete, and Tomlinson's and Williamson's self-belief ended up getting him to the point where he was able to pull off this upset against Simpson. I mean, it was part of the reason why he was able to do it.
As we await the ring walks tonight, we love our fighters, we celebrate our fighters, we also rejoice when they come through difficult times. You have for nearly 30 years, Spencer Oliver. A little word tonight, please, on Lee Reeves, who was damaged last week in his fight in Dublin and who is making recovery and progress, we hear, and also Raven Chapman, who was damaged herself with a hematoma in sparring in Scandinavia and may well be coming home next week. You've suffered from it, Spence. A word on that, please.
Yeah, tragic news for for us and our sport really. With Lee, I'll start off with Lee Reeves. You know, he was knocked out in a very tough, brutal fight, and he got caught with a big right hand. You know, his condition worsened. He was taken to hospital, and you know, he underwent surgery, and he is still in a seduced coma at the moment. But he is making progression, which is great news. They are pleased with the way that he is moving. So we wish him all the best. There's a GoFundMe page for Lee Reeves as well, and you know, people can get behind him, support him, because the rebuild is going to be so difficult. And then moving on, Gareth, to Raven Chapman. Well, as soon as that happened, the next day her trainer Wes, he texted me and said, Spencer, got some bad news, can you give me a call? I thought he was calling about something else. He told me that Raven had been over in Denmark sparring with Hoare, who is boxing tonight. Actually, she's boxing out in Orlando tonight. She had 3 tough 10-rounders back-to-back sparring sessions out in Denmark, and in the last one, in the 9th round, she was on the little wobbly legs. They stopped the sparring, went into the ring. She said she needed to lie down. She lied down, and unfortunately, she took a turn for the worse. The pupils dilated. They rang an ambulance, an air ambulance come, took her to the hospital, and she underwent surgery for a bleed on the brain. They had to remove 1/4 of her skull, this poor girl. And they only just put that back today. She went under the 2nd operation. She's come out of the coma, out of the danger zone, and she is now just starting to recover, but it's going to be a long rebuild.
And I speak for all of our team here, our production team and our guys on the desk, when our prayers and thoughts go out to both of them. Final one as the guys prepared to ring walk. John, I'll bring you in here. Daniel Dubois, Fabio Wardley 2, we hear, planned for October the 17th in Manchester. What say you?
Makes sense, doesn't it? Loved seeing it first time round. I think Fabio Wardley can fight better than he did last time, and I think it's going to be a very good fight and well worth seeing.
Too soon, Spencer, for Fabio?
No, I don't think it is for Fabio Wardley. He's that guy. Some fighters are different. Some fighters need that confidence rebuild. You know, Fabio Wardley, he was the one that activated the rematch, and I agree with John. He's a very dangerous guy. He showed that he can adapt. We saw that in the Fraser Clark first fight and second fight, and I think it could be a tougher fight for Daniel Dubois than the first one was. You still pick Daniel Dubois to win, you still favour him, but you can't write off Fabio Wardley.
It is now time for our main event of the evening. 12 rounds for the British and Commonwealth super middleweight titles. This is the rematch. Please welcome into the ring first the challenger this evening from Barnsley, Yorkshire, Callum Simpson.
Well, listen to the reception for Callum Simpson. They've made their way up from Barnsley in their thousands, literally, and he is getting a terrific reception here. Callum Simpson, pride of Oakwell, pride of Barnsley, and the fans are here wanting to roar him to a British and Commonwealth title and regain what I'm sure he believes is his. He says he's got the tactics right. Standing right up in front of us is Rob McCracken, who's been working with him in the build-up to this, just 12 miles away from his home in Barnsley, down to the elite Olympic Boxing Training Centre in Don Valley. They've been working together. What sort of a difference might it make for Callum? He looks nice and relaxed as he makes his way into the ring, punching a few people, touching gloves to hands with a few, and now waving as he steps onto the ring apron, through the white ropes, onto the canvas, and now does a circuit of the ring, waving to fans in all corners. To say he's happy to be here, I think, is an understatement.
Yeah, he wanted this immediate rematch. He wanted to right the wrongs of that last contest, a fight that many felt he was winning up until that 10th and disastrous round where he was on the floor
and
4
now,
times.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent the defending champion from Darlington County, Durham, Troy Trojan Williamson.
If you're wanting a bet on this fight, Troy Williamson was one which was attracting a little bit of attention because despite the fact he had that spectacular win against Callum Simpson when they met first time, this time he's still odds against, and Callum Simpson named as favourites at around about 11 to 8 on. Troy Williamson odds against about 11 to 10. But he's looked so confident for me this week, and he looks up on stage as he raises his white glove above his head and waves towards the heavily outnumbered supporters who've made their way down from Darlington to cheer him on. He now starts his walk to the ring, down onto the floor of the arena with his trainer and bodyguards alongside him. Now he walks up to the ring apron, he'll step through the ropes, and soon he knows there'll only be him and Callum Simpson face to face, plus the referee, and the rest is all down to sporting conflict and who will prosper this time around. It is fascinating. Williamson, though, won so spectacularly well last time around. He's clearly got a great chance of retaining his title. Victor Loughran, the small Scottish referee, goes and takes a look at him just to make sure everything is absolutely right. And now the big introduction.
Gentlemen, this contest is brought to you by Ben Shalom and Boxer. We are live and exclusive on the global home of boxing, DAZN, for our main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the British and Commonwealth super middleweight titles. And this evening we are proudly partnered with Betfred, Riyadh Season, That Prize Guy, Tixa, Champion and IFX Payments. Your officials for this contest. Your stewards are Suzanne Potts and Debbie Down. Your judges at ringside are Mark Lyson, Phil Edwards and John Latham. Your timekeeper for this contest is Anthony Rushton, and your referee in charge is A-star referee Victor Loughran. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is Saturday Fight Night. This is the rematch. We salute those about to do battle. Our boxers are ready for action. Our viewers are ready for action. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for action? Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, he is the challenger. He wears the red and white shorts and stands with head trainer Rob McCracken. Official weight, 11 stone, 13 pounds and 3 ounces. He comes to the ring with an excellent record, 19 bouts, 18 wins, 1 defeat and 13 big wins coming by way of knockout. Presenting the former Central Area champion, the former British champion, the former Commonwealth and European super middleweight champion. He stands here this evening as the fighting pride of Barnsley, Yorkshire, his opponent across the ring fights out of the red corner. He is the defending champion, and he wears the white and gold shorts. He stands with head trainer Jordan Williams. Official weight, 11 stone, 13 pounds and 5 ounces. His excellent record consists of 27 bouts, 22 wins, 4 defeats, 1 draw, and 16 big wins by knockout, presenting the former English and European champion and the reigning and defending British and Commonwealth Super Middleweight Champion. He stands here this evening as the fighting pride of Darlington County, Durham, Troy Williamson.
Okay, gents, you've had your instructions. Remember, obey my commands at all time. Defend yourselves at all time. God bless. Touch gloves. Touch them.
So the two fighters go back into their corners. The seconds leave the ring. Rob McCracken, last of all, just a small silver-haired figure of the referee, along with the two fighters. Victor Loughlin signals that the fight can begin, and we're away. 12 rounds for the British and Commonwealth super middleweight title. Simpson by some 3 or 4 inches, the taller man, and starts well with a good left-hand lead. Nice solid jab. Williamson was a bit slow off his blocks the first time they fought, but we all know how spectacularly he ended the fight. And this is good from Simpson, who lands a solid right hand, has his gloves up high. Nothing back from Williamson of note so far. Left hand, right hand again from Simpson as Williamson gets in closer where he's dangerous. He gets his fist into the neck of Simpson, and the referee says no, you don't do that, and the action begins again.
Yep, Simpson looking to start fast here, just moving around the perimeter of the ring, hands held high, quick hand speed as well from Simpson, but impressive start for me from Troy Williamson, who looks solid holding centre of the ring.
But he's not really landed any meaningful punches yet. Simpson, the taller man, covers up well as Williamson comes forward, throws a left towards Simpson's body, taken on the forearms. Simpson tries to throw shots, and Williamson comes around that guard with a left hand, but it was only a glancing blow. But there's a really good, solid left hand lead from Williamson. Caught Simpson flush on the face as he came in, and now Simpson gives a bit of ground, and Williamson cuts him off in the corner on the far side of the ring, waiting to mount an attack. Throws a right to the body and a left to the body. Both get through the guard of Simpson. Simpson tries to retaliate, but Williamson covers up well. Interesting opening round.
Yep, Simpson just trying to manhandle him there, pushing Williamson into the blue corner. Williamson comes back with a good jab. Simpson not wanting to give up ground though, as both guys work directly above us, and Simpson may be the one coming better off.
And it's already showing every sign of turning out to be an engaging and thrilling battle, this one. 40 seconds gone in the opening round as Simpson leans on, tries to throw clubbing shots towards the head of Williamson, but can't get anything on them, and referee Victor Loughlin separates them. Williamson now plodding forward, flat-footed, short of the target with a jab. Simpson, taller, keeps his gloves up high, and then manages to block a left hook from Williamson into the last 15 seconds.
Yeah, Williamson looking to target the body there of Callum Simpson, bring those hands down so he can find that opening. Big right hand goes in there, sends a head back there from Callum Simpson. Good shot, that best shot of the round there from Troy Williamson. Really stepped in with that right hand.
Good opening round. I personally think that Callum Simpson just about did enough. Let's hear what Paulie Malignaggi reckons.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think Simpson won that first round. One thing I don't like about Simpson, though, he's not capable of just winning the round in spots with just a jab. Every time he throws a jab, he's got to come with a right hand, a left hand, a right hand. Everything doesn't have to be a combination when you've got a plotting guy in front of you. There are moments you have to win in the round where they're just jabbing, changing levels, double jabbing, feint jabbing. It'll conserve energy, and it'll still be effective in preventing Williamson from coming in. That's the only thing that's concerning there about Simpson, because he burned too much petrol in the first fight early on. The good thing about Simpson, what I liked is in the clinches, he didn't work too hard. He actually used his bigger size to push Williamson to the ropes and smother him, instead of in the first fight when you saw every clinch, he was trying to fight his way out of every clinch, and he was burning petrol and not conserving energy. So some positive, some negative. Let's see how the fight progresses.
That's the words of Paulie Malignaggi. Troy Williamson against Callum Simpson from the Direct Bank Arena in Leeds, live on talkSPORT into round 2. This is our main event. Troy Williamson against Callum Simpson. Simpson challenging, trying to regain the title. He lost dramatically, and he's coming on strong. Oh, brings in a big uppercut. He's got Williamson on the ropes. Williamson tries to fight back. I don't think he truly hurt, but it was a big attack from Simpson, and he ended it with a solid, meaty-looking uppercut. And back comes Williamson, throwing body shots off the ropes. This is thrilling action in the first 30 seconds of round 2.
Yeah, this is already becoming very physical, isn't it? We knew that. It's guys trying to stamp their authority. There was a short uppercut on the inside that knocked Callum Simpson's gum shield out. The reaction continued. Simpson pinning Williamson on the ropes, trying to take control of it, but he's got to be careful here that he doesn't make the mistake that he made in the first fight by smothering his own work, Simpson.
Williamson starts fast with a right to the body, gets in close, tries to land clubbing hooks, and Simpson can do no more than cover up. The better infighter, I reckon, is probably Williamson. Williamson right in with his head on the chest of Simpson. Simpson comes back with a right hook out of the clinch and a left hook, and his Barnsley fans give a deafening encouragement as he does so. That support could be a big factor.
Yeah, he's burning a lot of energy here though, Callum Simpson. He's wrestling, pushing, he's not using his weight right here. As I said, John, he's smothering his work a little bit, and you burn the energy there. Or as Paulie says, you empty the petrol. But it's good work from Callum Simpson as Troy Williamson pinned on the ropes.
2 big uppercuts, and there's reddening around the left eye of Callum Simpson. He's already marking up from those shots which Williamson is landing in close, and Williamson is trying to fight back off the ropes as Simpson leans on and just indicates to the referee that he wants to get away, and he does so, and then comes back in with 1, 2, 3 good shots, ending with a solid right uppercut. This is terrific action here in the second round of our main event here in Leeds.
Yeah, Simpson trying to really force the pace here, trying to outman Williamson, trying to beat Williamson at his aim game. Williamson tries to get back to the jab, whole centre of the ring, trying to control the space again here, Williamson. But Simpson may be getting the better of things, but this is rough, it's tough, not particularly attractive in there right now, but it was never going to be that way.
And Simpson has expended a lot of energy in these opening 2 rounds, probably won the first, may have won the second, although this is a very close round, and Williamson is coming back strongly in the latter stages. The 2 of them lean on, and nothing much of significance is thrown in there, but those sorts of exchanges and that sort of grappling is energy sapping for both men. And now we wait to see who's going to land the last big shot of the round. Well, the answer is nobody does. Close round. How did you have it, Paulie?
I gave it to Simpson again. Listen, on the outside, he just needs a little bit of space to land his cross, his hook. And then if he gets on the inside, I like what he's doing. He's pushing Williamson to the ropes because he's using a bigger size. Yes, Spencer, he is smothering himself, but he's also smothering Williamson. On the inside, it's more important for Williamson to have space to be able to work, because on the outside, Simpson can score those points. Yes, he's burning a bit of energy doing this because he is having a bit of a tussle on the inside. Williamson knows how to conserve energy on the inside better than does Simpson, so spending too much time on the inside probably is not as advantage to him, but you're taking away any spots for Williamson to be able to win the round by taking away the space on the inside and forcing only the eye-catching shots to be when there's space.
Gareth's got some words of wisdom, I think.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Paulie in that those barrages of punches, those tsunamis of punches, are winning those rounds for Simpson.
Yeah, because he's smothering the return from Williamson. He's not allowing Williamson to really have any space to do any work on the inside. He's using his bigger size to push Williamson to the ropes every time, where Williamson doesn't have any room and gets smothered.
We go into the third round. It's a 12-rounder, of course, for the famous Lonsdale belt, Commonwealth belt, also at stake here tonight. Troy Williamson, such a proud champion after years of endeavour, now 34 years old, 5 years older than Callum Simpson, and I thought that Williamson came back well in the second round. Tony Bellew, incidentally, has got it a round apiece.
Yeah, well, you can argue that because Williamson did have a better second round than the first round, that's for sure. But for me, I think Simpson may have just out-muscled him a little bit, outworked him a little bit, but did burn up a lot of energy, as I say, smothering his work, maybe half a step back when he throws his punches just to create that space. But Williamson, this is his sort of fight. This is where he likes to be, up close. But as the fight materialises, you'll see a change in the pattern. Good right hand there from Williamson.
And we know that as the fight unfolds, he's still going to have plenty left. He's got terrific stamina as Troy Williamson, and that was where Simpson was undone in their first fight, as he was battered in the 10th round, and Williamson came from behind to win the fight quite spectacularly. Again now, Simpson is leaning on, trying to bully Simpson back, Williamson back, and landing 1, 2, 3, clubbing right hands, and the referee eventually pushes Simpson back. Simpson comes back with another huge right hand, and another one. The two of them are going toe-to-toe, and more punches are being landed by Callum Simpson.
Yeah, good little spell in the contest there from Simpson. 1, 2, 3, 4 shots, all went in. Troy Williamson spending too much time to come back there. He needs to beat fire with fire here as he throws it a 1-2.
Aimed a big right hand, but Simpson managed to cover up. The Barnsley fans who are packing out this big indoor arena here in the centre of Leeds are giving terrific support to their man, and they believe that he's ahead and going well and moving at this stage anyway towards victory. Two more big right hands and a left uppercut as well. Williamson's in trouble, takes another right hand, and a huge right hand rocks back his head, and Simpson senses that he could put him away here, and Williamson is holding on, desperately clinging on. He absorbed some terrific right hands, and how did he stay upright?
Yeah, he was in desperate trouble there, Williamson, and he's still in desperate trouble. The legs are not quite with him. Big right hands were pounding in. Callum Simpson sensed that he had him. The crowd sensed it as well. Can Simpson jump on him here? No, a big left hook goes in.
That was a massive round for Callum Simpson. The first two, there may have been arguments. No argument about the third. A huge round for Callum Simpson. And in the Williamson corner, Jordan Williams has got to try and impart some words of wisdom.
Arms out, legs up, legs up, legs up. Deep breath, Gotta keep that gap, yeah? Yeah, when you're squeezing you need to go. Can't have you sitting on the ropes like that, alright? Deep breath, deep breath. He's feeling the body shots on the inside every time, yeah? He's going to come out flying this round, so he'll be sensible, okay? Wrong leg, wrong leg.
He's going to come out flying. I think you can guarantee that, because Williamson was really in trouble in that third round. That was a huge round to Callum Simpson, and now, who knows, he may go for it here in the fourth.
Yep, Williamson really needs to do something here. Simpson can capitalise on this, because for me, I think Williamson is still hurt. He's feeling the effects of the right hand that went straight down the pipe and just took the legs away, and Simpson jumped on it from there. Slower start here at the beginning of round number 4, but you just sense Simpson's going to go at some point as he lets the right hand go.
He certainly will do, but I don't doubt either that Robert McCracken, who's had all that experience coaching our top amateurs, that he will have told him just bide your time, and he's going in there looking for it now though, and landed a nice solid chopping right hand. Good left hand lead, rocks back Williamson's head, and Williamson wants to hold on and buy a few seconds as Simpson tries to push himself away, extricating himself away from the clamping grasp of Troy Williamson.
Yeah, ironically, it was Troy Williamson that was doing the damage on the right hand early on in the last fight, and it is now Callum Simpson that is doing the damage with the right hand down the middle. Paulie Malignaggi, I want to bring you in on that. What does he have to do here, Troy Williamson, to get himself back into it?
Williamson has to figure out a way to get himself in that forward momentum back. A lot of what we're seeing, too, is Simpson, when he lands a good right hand, he's the one coming forward. If Williamson starts backing up, the power of Simpson is going to take effect. Williamson cannot back up. That's what he did so well in the first fight. He kept Simpson backing up. This time, in spots, he's being backed up, and when Simpson throws the punches as Williamson is backing up, it's that forward momentum that gives Simpson more power on his shots.
Williamson waiting for Simpson to come forward and commit himself. Left-hand lead from Simpson. Williamson slips inside it, and again there's an untidy maul and clench. No true storing punches landed there, and it's Simpson who manages to push his way out of that and land a solid left to the body, but the heads are going in close, and I hope that there's not going to be any sort of facial damage caused by clashes of heads, because they were really going in strongly.
Yep, they were, and they were doing this in the last fight as well. It's rough, it's tough, you don't win by any means, as both guys trade blow for blow. Williamson gets off with a nice right hook in the inside there as well. Great action here in round number 4.
Hard to see, though, any argument for giving Williamson a round so far. One of the close ones. I think the second was close. Third was a big round for Simpson, and Simpson's doing enough again here in the 4th for me. A couple of body shots from Simpson, and at the end of this round we'll go into the blue corner, the corner of Callum Simpson, and try and hear how Rob McCracken is viewing it. Big attack from Williamson in the closing seconds, but Simpson does well to cover up against most of it, and we go, as I say, into that blue corner and hear the words which are being delivered to Callum Simpson.
Back, hook throat, body edge, hook up, lean on him, okay? Walking back, all right? Put your legs out. You all right? Have a drink, swallow. I need you nice and tidy and busy. Then 1-2, 1-2s, 1-2 up backhand, get as close as the gap. Inside, upper core, body, or upper core round the side, yeah? Nice and calm. You're listening to me. Stay with me, mate. You can win this fight, all right? Just don't switch off and let him swing one over the top. Smart pressure. Smart pressure.
Working table and walking back.
Work inside, walking back when he's holding you. Walking back. Relax, calm. Solid defence, little feint. 1-2 up backhand.
Great words, and I heard most clearly. Are you listening to me in those Birmingham tones, Paulie?
Yeah, they want to make sure they got all the attention in the corner. It's a crucial moment in the fight as we approach getting close. We're close, we're a third of the way through, and there's still a lot of fight left, and a lot of technical stuff to be negotiated in this fight.
I've given all 4 rounds so far to Callum Simpson, but there are signs that Williamson is coming back into it, Spencer.
Yeah, there were signs at the end of that 4th round, the last 15 seconds. He had a brilliant spell, and he put Callum Simpson under immense pressure, and he started this 5th round well as well here, Troy Williamson. He's starting to find success, punches in bunches, and they're starting to work for him.
He calls himself the Trojan. He's a true warrior. Good right hand from Simpson as Williamson steps inside and ties him up again and tries to land punches inside. Simpson doing a decent job of covering up, though. Referee splits them. Forward comes Simpson, looking to create an opening for the big right hand, which he does get through with, and then a right hand into the body, and again they lean on and clinch and try to throw punches inside, not very successfully.
Yeah, Simpson having the better of those clinches on the inside, though. They are ugly, they are rough. Williamson taking too long to get off with that right hook counter. That's what he's doing. He's waiting for Simpson to come in. He wants to get off with that shot. He had success in the first fight with that, and he's just not quite finding it yet in this fight.
I think the conditioning of Simpson is once again going to play a big part, though. We're not at the halfway stage yet, and he's having to throw an awful lot here to keep the pressure on Williamson, and it's going to be a very pertinent point whether or not he can maintain it in the second half of the fight. nearing the final minute of this 5th round. It's been a tight round so far.
Yeah, it has been a tight round, but Simpson may be doing enough in this round as well. He's getting the better of those inside exchanges. As I say, Williamson just taking a little too long to get off his shots, but he's come back with a nice uppercut right hand. But look at Simpson, again, take the play away from him.
And the referee splits them and pushes Simpson back. A slightly uncomfortable blink of the eye from Troy Williamson. Comes off the ropes with a good right hand, but there's a solid left hook from Callum Simpson, which drew the applause of his cornerman.
I've got to say, John, Williamson just sagged back on the ropes there. He's feeling the effects of this. He's feeling the pace. He's the one that looks the more tired, the more fatigued of the two in there at the moment.
Right to the body from Williamson as we move into the last 15 seconds of the 5th round. It was identified by Paulie Malignaggi as a key round, this one, in the course of the fight. More than a third of the fight now completed, and who's taking this 5th? Let's hear from the man himself, Paulie.
You know, this fight getting really, really nippy here on the inside. Williamson is trying to start making a stand at the inside. He tried to really fight back. He didn't allow himself to get backed up to the ropes in those clinches as quickly as he was earlier. Earlier in the fight, Simpson had so much energy in the clinches. You could tell that part of the game plan was don't let Williamson make it too dirty, and by having it at center ring, push him back to ropes and smother the clinches. This round, I noticed that in those clinches, a lot of the work was done at center ring. Is Simpson's energy level dipping a little bit? Is Williamson starting to get to him? Still a competitive round. I don't know if Williamson won it. It was close, but is Simpson's energy dipping?
It's all very well having the tactics, Gareth. He's got to have the conditioning. Now's when it counts.
Yeah, I don't think he listened to Rob McCracken in that round, to be fair. But you've got to admire the tenacity and ambition of Simpson, because Williamson's never been stopped in his career, has he?
No, he hasn't, and we're into the 6th round. It was the 3rd round when he was in real trouble, when Simpson came on strong, and just for a moment it looked as though Williamson's legs might betray him, and he starts this round fast. He must have been told by his corner, get out there and win some rounds, because you've got to be behind on the scorecards. Tony Bellew has got Simpson well ahead, as indeed have we, Paulie Malignaggi, Spencer, Oliver and myself.
Yeah, it's been a good performance so far from Callum Simpson. He had a lot of demons to deal with coming into this ring, into the immediate rematch, and he seems to have dealt with them. He's come up with a game plan and it's working right now. But it's Troy Williamson, he needs to do something, spending too much time on the ropes, as he is right now, as Simpson throws a lovely short right hand. Williamson really felt that one.
Great uppercut, terrific right hand. He threw one, and then just as he caught him on the chin, another one came in crack, twice as hard, and somehow Williamson stayed upright and now starts trying to bring the fight back to Simpson. Lands a good left hand in close, and this time it's Simpson who wants to hold on as we move towards the halfway stage of the 6th round. Hasn't always been the prettiest fight, this one, but it's a grueling one, and we're nearing the halfway stage, and this is really when stamina comes into play.
Yeah, grit, determination, mindset. You know, the psychological battle, the physicalities are going to leave these guys soon. It's going to become a mental battle, the will to win. All of that comes into play here, and we're going to find that out very shortly as we reach the halfway mark. 1 minute, 10 seconds left, round number 6.
Troy Williamson went into this fight in a different way to any he'd been in before. He went in as a British and Commonwealth super middleweight champion. He was the one trying to defend the titles, and he's got some improvement to do if that's the way it's going to be. Good right hand from Simpson, met with one from Williamson almost simultaneously. Fascinating to see who's going to prevail. Good left hand off the ropes from Williamson, but then back from Simpson. Big uppercut. Good work off the ropes from Williamson. This is brilliant.
Yeah, great work off the ropes from Williamson here, just leaning back, using the ropes to his advantage, whipping the right uppercuts in and landed a solid left hook in there as well.
So 20 seconds of this round remaining. Has Simpson done enough to take it? Williamson lands a good right hand tries to work to the body of Simpson, but Simpson lands more shots in close into the last 10 seconds, and the referee gets Simpson to step back. He was stifling the punches, lands a right hand right into the face of Williamson, who is absolutely granite-jawed once more. And this is almost becoming hard to watch.
Yeah, this is a battle of wills. It's debilitating into a battle of attrition. So far, Simpson is holding up, though. The naturally bigger man, Simpson, continues to push back Williamson. You have to start wondering, all this leaning, all this pushing back of Williamson, is Williamson himself, if it's his gas tank being the older guy, is it going to start to diminish as well? You know, so far, both guys are digging deep. They're in an uncomfortable fight, but it's been Simpson's game plan as so far has held up. And I don't know if Williamson's going to have the energy to push himself back into this fight.
Having watched the first fight earlier today a couple of times, Simpson's doing so much better than the first fight. He's made much more of an impact on Williamson than he did in that first contest.
Seconds out.
Well, we move into the second half of the fight now, round 7, and I've got Callum Simpson well in front. Williamson has either got to have knockdowns or absolutely dominate the second half of this fight.
Yeah, I'm with you, John. It's been an entertaining fight, but I think Williamson knows that, and he started this 7th round like he means business. Got through with a right hand, good left hook, went in there as well. Great start here from Williamson.
He needs some big rounds, and his fans are getting excited by what he's producing. Good straight left hand from Simpson, good counter punch, but this has been a damaging first 30 seconds so far as Simpson's concerned, because Williamson has come out looking full of resolve, full of ambition.
Boy, Williamson shows some character. It's been a tough night in there for him, and look at the way he is. He's hanging in there. He's fighting down on his gum shield, and he's had a great start here to round number 7. 1 minute gone, and it's been Williamson's first minute.
Another big swinging right hand, but then back comes Simpson. Landed a good right hand himself in close, working away to the body, and brings one up to the head. 2 right hands, both scoring shots for Simpson, and he leans on, and there's an untidy maul. Let him go, you might have heard the referee say. Simpson, big right hand. How did Williamson stay upright? Takes another huge left. He's rocking around, looking as though he's about to go. Simpson needed to find a big uppercut, was unable to do so.
Yeah, Williamson swaying in there. He's all over the place. He's definitely feeling the pace of this. Great shots from Callum Simpson. But look at the character of Williamson as he takes centre of the ring and tries to take back control. Brilliant fight, brilliant round here. Number 7.
Simpson misses with a straight right as Williamson ducks below it, and the referee splits them. Williamson needs to find sustained pressure to match that he showed in the first 30 seconds of this round, because Simpson has come back strongly. The heads go in close and crash together. Simpson leaning on, trying to work to the body. Williamson lands the left hook in close to the head of Simpson, and this is energy-sapping stuff.
Yeah, real tough stuff here, but Simpson is the one. He's coming off better here. He's using the wrestling technique to his advantage in there, and it's Williamson who's really feeling it. Solid jab, hits the chin there of Williamson as well. Body shot slams in.
So, final 20 seconds of the round, and Callum Simpson thundering in body shots as they lean in close, switches the attack to the head, brings an uppercut in, back comes Williamson with a good left hook. Last few seconds of a pulsating round. Victor Loughran, the referee, he splits them, they touch gloves and go back to their corners. That round, I tell you, was special. Let's get into the Simpson corner. No, we'll go into the Williamson corner apparently and hear what's being said in.
We're behind heavy on the scorecard, mate, yeah? We're going to have to go a bit earlier, all right? Good. Stay on the front foot, mate. You're timing him when he's pushing, yeah? But when you're on the front foot, you're giving him too much respect. You're waiting too long, yeah? His face is changing. Every time you hit him, he's losing faith in what he's doing, right? He can't keep this pace up, right? Don't let him rest. Don't claim step up and rest. Don't go that hook backhand needs to be sharp, snappy.
Well, I think we've got to the stage where you have to say he needs knockdowns.
Well, I think the corner was spot on there, Paulie, with the instructions. They said, listen, you're losing these rounds. They're falling behind. You've got to roll the dice now. You've got to throw the kitchen sink, because that's where we're at here. You've got to make this rough, tough, make it your fight.
Yeah, and I heard in the Williamson corner, they said we've got to start earlier. There may have been a game plan to turn up the tempo later in the fight for Team Williamson, but they said in that corner, well, we got to start earlier. We got to go to them. You know, we're in the second half of the fight now. Williamson clearly started the first minute of the previous round with intent to start changing the momentum, but you got to credit Simpson for taking the momentum back, and you got to credit the game plan of Simpson and Rob McCracken, because they refuse to be bullied on the inside. I think it's pretty known that Williamson is the better inside fighter, but Simpson refuses to be bullied. He pushes Williamson back to the ropes every single time and makes Williamson's inside game ineffective.
Williamson's really a little tank of a fighter. He keeps on coming forward, covers up, and my goodness, he's hard to put into reverse gear. But Simpson has managed to do it, and his tactics so far have been pretty good. We've got Simpson well in front, and Williamson needs big rounds now, and surely needs knockdowns, and might even needs a stoppage if he's going to win this.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think that he needs something really big. There was a good right hand that slammed in, but look at the response of Callum Simpson, and listen to the crowd here in the Leeds First Direct Arena. They are absolutely loving it. Both guys have brought a tremendous amount of support, and both guys in the ring are trading blow for blow.
Well, Simpson unravelled dramatically in the 10th round in their first meeting. We're in the 8th now, and the two land simultaneously with massive right hands. Neither of them seems to suffer any sort of bad effect, but it is Williamson who's coming forward, looking the stronger, trying to switch attack from body to head. And Simpson now into reverse gear, looking to jab, looking to use his reach and his accuracy. Lands a little left hand lead, but it was no great power in it. Big left hand from Williamson, rocks and crashes into the head of Simpson, and Williamson is coming on strong in this round.
Yeah, he was hurt there, Simpson. He was forced to hold. He wouldn't let go of the glove there of Williamson, but look at the response. Body shot there from Simpson, and now Williamson's hold. Incredible stuff here in round number 8. 30 seconds to go.
Great round indeed. And Simpson needs to box now to keep this marauding attack of Williamson at bay. Comes in with a right hand and the body shot, both from Williamson. And Simpson gets his arm over Williamson's shoulder, turns him around, and we're into the last 10 seconds of another dramatic round. Good right hand from Williamson. Simpson chopping right hand counter of his own, and what a round that was for him. How did you have that one?
The battle of attrition again continues. You see Simpson's response. Williamson lands a good shot. In the first fight, Simpson started to fade out late when Williamson was landing shots like that. You saw Simpson's response to step right back to Williamson, take away the space and try to bully him back. He doesn't want Williamson to get any momentum going forward late in this fight, because he knows what happened in the last fight once Williamson got that forward momentum and kept it late in the fight.
And this is where Williamson comes on strong. This is the danger. The last quarter of the fight is where he comes into his own. He's got that mental strength, that mental toughness, and he landed a good right hand there that forced Callum Simpson to hold. Can he build on that?
And in these last 4 rounds, we find out if Simpson is world class or not right now.
Well, he's looked pretty world class so far, but now it's the real testing time. Last 4 rounds of the fight, British and Commonwealth super middleweight title, championship boxing from the First Direct Arena here in Leeds, live for you on talkSPORT, and it's a terrific fight. The champion, Troy Williamson, just showing signs of coming back. We're now in the 9th round of 12.
Yeah, he knows he's getting into desperate times now. Troy Williamson, he has to take the gamble. He's got to roll it here. both guys trading blow for blow. Simpson looking to use the perimeter of the ring, and the body shot goes in there from Troy Williamson. Good work as both guys get tied up.
Williamson makes a bright start to the round. He needs to win this round, quite definitely. Simpson trying to stand tall, trying to keep his gloves up as Williamson ducks low and plows in, looking to throw hooks to the head, and Simpson ties him up and pushes him back onto the ropes. The crowd really don't know. The Simpson fans, of course, believe their man is winning, but Williamson is coming on strong, and it's getting closer.
Yeah, it's getting very tough in there now. This is not a physical battle, it's more a mental battle with both of these guys now. Who wants it most? Who can hang in there? It's tough, very, very tough, and Simpson still driving in. Good shots there from Williamson, forcing Simpson to hold, but Simpson's response is to come straight back.
This is real red-blooded stuff. The two men are giving absolutely everything for this British and Commonwealth title, and of course for the winner, maybe a chance to move up in the world rankings and get bigger prizes ahead. That's for the future, but for now, it's Simpson on the front foot, trying to bully Williamson backwards. He manages to do so, but Williamson ties him up and lands a couple of body shots inside, and the two of them gulping in the air here in Leeds. Big right hands from Simpson.
Yeah, big right hand went in there from Simpson, just forced Williamson to sag on the ropes there. Paulie Malignaggi, bring you in here because I'm loving the tactics of Simpson. He's showing a lot of will in there at the moment. It is getting the success off the back of those exchanges.
Yeah, and again, you see he's trying to physically manhandle Williamson. He knows Williamson's tough. He's not going to go anywhere. You guys mentioned Williamson's never been stopped. So he's trying to physically manhandle him, keep the momentum of Williamson going backwards so that he can be effective. Oh, he hurt him. Williamson caught Simpson off the ropes.
That was a tremendous shot because he was coming on really strong there, Simpson, and Williamson landed a big left hand just when he needed to. Into the last 20 seconds of the 12th round. Simpson leans on and the referee won't have it. He's going to speak to them both, I think, and tell them, yeah, this is good, but let's keep it legitimate. Right hand from Williamson, and another one, and a left. He has Simpson on the ropes. Simpson covers up. Great end to the round from Williamson, and acknowledged by Callum Simpson. Big round that from Williamson, and we can listen in again in that corner. The microphone has been hoisted in the Williamson side. Let's listen in.
Every time he touches them, it's the king. He doesn't want to be here anymore. Yeah? Stay nice and tight. Yeah? Do not let him want you back them ropes. Everything we've ever put work for. This is the defining moment, mate. Let's go.
Hell of a fight we've got here. The face of Troy Williamson is marking up. He's got a lot of grease over both eyebrows, and he starts fast. Comes forward, trying to wing in hooks into the body of Callum Simpson. Who did you give that last round to, by the way?
I think Simpson may have just nicked the round, but Williamson had a brilliant finish to the round, last 20 seconds. And Callum Simpson walked back to that corner like he was walking on stilts. I just don't know. I know he was hurt there. He disguised it well. But Williamson is going to push on here. This is where he's successful. Big right hand from Williamson.
This was where the fight ended first time round. We're into the 10th. And Williamson is on top, looking for headshots, left hand, right hand, and another one, right in his own corner. And Simpson manages to tie him up. Good start to the round in the opening minute of the 10th from Troy Williamson, who must be behind on the judges' cards, but he's starting to fight back. Good shot from Simpson in close, and Williamson ties him up effectively. A minute gone in the 10th.
Yeah, good work here from Simpson, just smothering Williamson's work. Williamson looking for an opening off the ropes. He's leaning back. Little uppercut goes on in the inside. Hook as well.
tighter fight maybe than we're seeing it. We've got it in Simpson's direction, but Williamson is certainly coming back here. I've not heard from Gareth for a while. I'll bring him at the end of the round, see how he's scoring it, because you can sometimes get a bit too carried away with looking at every single push and punch which is landed and not take the wider view. And Simpson comes back, doubles up nicely on the left-hand lead. But Williamson, who looks as though he could go on for 20 rounds, never mind 12, he comes chugging forward and lands more body shots.
Yeah, there's always an air of danger around Williamson. You never quite know where he's going to throw those shots from. Callum Simpson has to stay switched on here, because this is where it can become dangerous for him.
This is where he unravelled back in December. Simpson's landed more punches, but Williamson is still in there looking for headshots, trying to work his way up off the ropes, leaning on Simpson, right hand, left hand. Referee looking at the left arm of Williamson, which is clamped around the back of Simpson's head. He pushes Simpson away. Simpson comes back in with a left hand. Good work. Right hand counter from Williamson. Last 20 seconds of this 10th round coming up. And the referee, who's earned his money tonight, he splits them again.
Yeah, Victor Lockton, not the biggest of guys either, and he's here to get in there and he's split him up. He's taken control of this contest. Done a great job refereeing this one. It's been an intriguing one for sure, and it's not over yet. Still a long, long way to go as both guys go for it, trading blow for blow. End of round 10, another classic round.
Big round it was for Simpson in the closing stages. Williamson put a lot in now, as promised. Overall, how are you seeing it, Gareth?
7 rounds to 3 to Callum Simpson. I gave that one to him because he fought a very smart fight, but the most dangerous of the two looks like Troy Williamson, and we know what happened back in December in the first iteration. I'll bring you in here, Paul.
Belatedly, we can hear from the corner, from the Simpson corner.
Can't have 30 seconds off, so he can come in and catch you with a shot at the end of the round. Hands up, little feints, box your way in head and body. Don't lean on him, body head. Mate, I need you to work.
Yeah, box your way in, don't get into fighting his fight.
Head and body, don't lean in.
Okay, 2 rounds to go. The key factors now, Spencer.
Yeah, the key factors are is Troy Williamson rolling the dice and Callum Simpson staying switched on, staying disciplined, staying focused. He can't allow Williamson to get on in the inside and get off with one of those big right hands, because that is where he still looks dangerous. Simpson winning this one clearly for me, but Williamson always looks like he's in the fight.
I think your talkSPORT commentary team reckons that Callum Simpson has done enough at this stage, that he is ahead, but who knows what the judges will make of it. Phil Edwards, Michael Alexander, and somebody else who I can't see from where I'm sitting right now. I've got scoring, and it's about how they see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Subjective scoring in fights like this where it's rough, it's tough, it's like, what are you looking for? Different judges go different ways, but I think the overall consensus is Simpson is doing enough. But 6 minutes at this stage, or 5 minutes now at this stage of a fight, is a long, long time.
It was Mark Lysham who sort of crouched down among the photographers, blindsided from me. They're the ones who are going to be scoring it. Here they come again, 2 of them going toe-to-toe, punch for punch. Simpson trying to push Williamson back, trying to show, even at this stage in the 11th, he's still the stronger, still the fresher. He pushes his man right across the ring, and the referee splits them.
Yeah, great action again here. Round number 11, Simpson. Oh, big hook there from Simpson, and Williamson just momentarily sagged on the ropes.
But he takes it. What a chin this man has got. Just over 4 minutes of this fight for the British and Commonwealth super middleweight titles remaining. And no punches of note landed there. Another untidy clinch as we move into the last minute. Williamson comes forward wildly through a right hand of desperation. Simpson ties him up, pushes him back, and Victor Loughlin has to intervene once again. And there are so few clean, crisp shots being landed now. It's about strength, about willpower, and about sustained aggression.
I totally agree with that, John. Give these guys their flowers. You know, they've shown so much in there. They've given us a little bit of everything. And everyone here in the First Direct Arena in Leeds is absolutely loving this one. As both guys, again, trade off. 20 seconds left. Round number 11. Simpson pushing on. Williamson trying to find something from somewhere. Can he do it? He's running out of time.
If you're listening in with us here on talkSPORT, you maybe think we're being overly dramatic. No way. The two of them landing blurring punches right up to the bell to end the 11th. And whatever the result, these two lads are never going to forget this fight tonight, because they're being dragged, both of them, into uncharted territory.
And there's a lot of inside work, a lot of physical work inside. A lot of guys, both guys really biting down on their gum shields and going for it. You know, both guys tired, but refusing to quit, refusing to wilt. Going into this last round, I think Williamson needs a huge round, maybe even a knockout. But credit to both guys for continuing to go at it in the way they have been, even at close range, where they're both moving their hands, both refusing to wilt, both refusing to go back or go down. Both guys have been hurt in this fight at different points. They keep coming back and then putting themselves back in position to trade again. Neither guy is getting gun shy. What a fight.
Great tactics from Callum Simpson and Rob McCracken. He's learnt from the loss if he can get through these 3 minutes.
And he slaps his fighter Paul Simpson on the back and sends him out. The two men touch gloves respectfully. They've given everything in there, well, almost everything. They've got to give another 3 minutes, and it could still be decided at this stage. Good left hand from Williamson. First scoring shot of the round.
Yeah, he's got to go for it here, Williamson. With my card, and I think that most people's cards, he's going to need a knockout to win here in what has been an absolutely absorbing, brilliant, grueling contest. But for me, Williamson needs something big. Can he do it? 2 minutes, 25 seconds on the clock, and he slings Callum Simpson to the ground.
And you can hear what the crowd make of it. A predominantly Callum Simpson supporting crowd. And Victor Loughlin walks across with his hands on his palms to the sky, saying, don't do that. What's that about? Don't do it. There's only 2 minutes odd remaining. We've got to this stage. Don't spoil it now. Last few seconds of the fight. Less than 2 minutes to go. And Williamson is right in Simpson's face, trying to find purchase on his punches, trying to find big hooks. There's a solid left hand, though, from Simpson as he fights Williamson off. Simpson pushes his man back, and that's the McCracken tactics and how effective they've been.
Yep, Williamson been looking for that big hook and got caught on one himself, went back on his heels, rocked and swayed like a tree. He was totally fighting on instinct in there right now.
1 minute 20 to go in the final round of a richly dramatic fight here in Leeds. Real grueling, red-blooded, strong man's battle. And who's going to prevail? Good right hand from Simpson, misses with the left follow-up. Desperate hooks by way of counter coming in from Williamson, but not finding the target. And Simpson looks the stronger as they move into the final minutes.
Williamson looking desperately tired. He was the one that was forced to hold. He just sagged his shoulders forward. He's the one pinned on the ropes. Look at the resilience here from Williamson.
Callum Simpson is producing a terrific effort here, trying to dominate this final round, and it looks as though he is doing. 1, 2, 3, hooks to the body, switches the attack to the head with a right hand, left hand, and another right hand. Back comes Williamson with a solid right hand off the ropes, but the bulk of those scoring shots all came from Callum Simpson, who looks to me as though he's on the cusp of regaining his talent, of regaining his title. He is hurt, he's caught by a right hand, but he's still upright, and he ain't gonna go. Williamson knows he's in trouble. Simpson fights back, throws big shots to the head. Williamson chops to the body, and Simpson and Williamson meet centre ring and embrace, and what a fight. What a fight.
What a fight. They punched themselves to a standstill. Last 15 seconds, Troy Williamson found something from somewhere. The legs went from Callum Simpson. He had to bite down on his gum shield, Paulie. He had to hang in there. And Troy Williamson just run out of time. What can I say? What a fight.
Wow, what a fight is right. Can we have 15 rounders? Can we do this 15? Wow, imagine you had 3 more rounds of this left. What a fight.
We haven't got the result yet. I've got it 8 rounds to 4 to Callum Simpson, but I'd see that again. I'd see a trilogy.
Oh, listen, I think anybody would want to see that again. That was edgy as seat stuff. And the way that it ended there, Paulie said it right, he nailed it. Every fight has a breaking point. These two don't. You know what they've had to go through. Do you know how dark them places that they went to were? Both of them showed incredible character, ended up standing on the end of their feet. The only winners in here tonight, and this lot, the crowd, the people, us, the pundits.
And you guys who are listening to talkSPORT or watching on DAZN, this has been a terrific fight. I've got it 9-3, incidentally, for Callum Simpson, so wider than most, I think. But I just thought he had the edge of it right the way through. And I'd certainly echo what Gareth said. I would 100% watch this one again. I think this has got a trilogy written all over it.
Yeah, Paulie, I want to bring you in on this one. Our scorecards probably don't tell the story of that contest and how gladiatorial both of those guys were in there, because I had it quite wide in favour of Callum Simpson as well, because it's not like he was dominating the rounds, he was just stealing them. He was stealing them.
Every round he had to work for it. Every round was not given for free. That Williamson made him work for every single round. Yeah, Simpson probably wins his fight tonight, but Williamson made him work hard for every single round, earn it, exchanges in every single round. Again, both guys have been hurt in this fight. You know, a trilogy isn't out of the question. I'd definitely be excited for it.
The two fighters are being ushered to centre ring, where the small figure of Victor Loughran has the right hand of Callum Simpson, the left hand of Troy Williamson, and now they have to wait for our Master of Ceremonies to tell us who's won it. Well, I've got it to Simpson, and I'm told that the television commentary also has Callum Simpson as the winner. What a fight, though. What an absorbing fight, a gripping fight. It's what you want to see, it's what you want to hear, and the two men fought with great respect, and the touch of gloves at the end was heartfelt.
Both of these warriors deserve a huge ovation. After 12 rounds of championship boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Mark Lyson scores this contest 116-112. Judge Phil Edwards scores this contest 117-112. And Judge John Latham scores this contest 115-113. All three in favor of your winner, and new British and Commonwealth super middleweight champion from Barnsley, Yorkshire,
Well, a triumphant night for Callum Simpson. 116-112, 117-112, 115-113. My word, did Kane Williamson make him work so hard to get those British and Commonwealth 12-stone belts back in his possession. I wonder, gents, whether we look at this now poorly. He's got the British and Commonwealth. He's proven that he can learn from a loss. Does Callum Simpson start to be viewed as someone, given the resilience and tenacity and physical strength of Kane Williamson, do you start to look at his position against the likes of Oisles Iglesias, Jaime Munguia, Christian Billy, Saul Canelo Alvarez? Are we projecting him too far forward?
I think I'd probably like to see him win a third fight against Williamson. You know, I'd like to see him again one more time against this level.
I'd love to see it.
I think if you push him a little to that level that you're talking about there, I'm not sure he's quite ready for it yet. He may never be ready for it, but I'd like to see if he at least can handle Williamson maybe a little bit easier the next time around. It is a grueling type of fight against Williamson. It is a fight that you leave a piece of yourself in there. But those names you just mentioned, with what I've seen from Simpson the last couple of fights, it would take a different kind of effort to beat those guys.
Let's just listen to Simpson, who's in the ring with Anna Woolhouse at the moment.
Welcome to Troy, you know, 35 years old. He almost retired a few years ago. So fair play to him. A round of applause for Troy, please. You know, fair play, you know. But Barnes, this is how we are, you know, we have respect. But yeah, it feels amazing, you know, and my family is supporting me. A big thank you to everybody. Everyone, I've said before, everyone says that fans are fickle, but not you lot. I lost here 8 months ago, and you've come back, spent your hard-earned money, and you've come back to support me. You're not letting me down. You're coming back for bigger and better. Once again, thank you, thank you.
And they appreciate it. You put on quite the show this evening. It was a hell of a pace from the start, and you didn't let up all the way through. A perfectly executed game plan.
I really didn't want it to be that exciting. I really didn't. You know, the plan was to try and box, keep my range and timing. I did it maybe 10% of the time, which is better than 0% of the time. So making little improvements. So God will not be happy. I'll be back in on Monday and I'll be getting pacing from him. But you know, I think I showed a little bit tonight that I can throw an half-decent 1-2 and box a little bit. But yeah, so I've got to, again, I'm still learning. Every fight I'm trying to learn and get better.
Talk us through that round 3, the big right hand, and how much confidence that gave you.
I was confident with my power anyway, you know. I think the issue in this fight would be maybe overconfident. But again, he's a hell of a fighter, very tough, strong, so he's got to be right. He stopped me the last fight, so he's got to be right to be confident. But what everyone doesn't know, the last fight is I perforated both my eardrums in the first round in my last fight, and I was an absolute mess. I was a mess from the first round, so that fight for me was just trying to survive the fight. And the referee almost stopped me in the last fight. He pushed it, he broke it, and then he stopped me. So, you know, but again, didn't make any excuses. Come back better, learn from it, and I know we're going to get the win tonight.
Gents, stylistically, he's really proven something tonight. When you've been knocked down 4 times in a fight, Paulie, against the same guy, you've come back against Williamson, who's never been stopped in his career, who's going to be ebullient and bullish for a whole fight like that. He's clearly moved up a level tonight.
Well, even mentally, to show that he got knocked down 4 times last fight, got up and came back in this fight in the way he won it. He won it in a physical way. He didn't show any PTSD from that fight. He was trading. He wasn't gun shy. He was at close range, where a lot of the fight the first time around was very uncomfortable for him. He was willing to be uncomfortable tonight to get the win. So certainly a lot of credit to be given to Callum Simpson for showing that mental fortitude that a lot of guys sometimes don't show once they've been knocked out in that way.
John, and the strength of the fight itself, the entertainment value, the crowd that Simpson brings, he's showing more and more in his resume.
Yeah, he is. I do think it might sound harsh at this stage, so soon after the conclusion of the fight. I think this might turn out to be Callum's level, if we're honest. And that
what level is that?
Well, British Championship level. And going into another fight against Williamson, making it 3. I think that's where it's at.
Is that an unfair assessment? What is it about the qualities of Simpson then that don't make you see world class in him, either of you?
Well, do you see him going in against Canelo? I don't.
No, it's not even, for me, it's not even about Canelo, because a lot of guys don't get Canelo. Actually, Canelo would fight a guy like this because he's beatable and he's got a little bit of a following behind him. Canelo's not going to go against guys that are too good at this point.
What about Jaime Munguia? Too powerful?
Too powerful. There's not enough versatility from Simpson in my opinion, and not enough. But he wants to box, but not enough boxing ability. He has a lot of heart, a lot of determination. Sometimes too much for his own good. But I think this is around his level, at world-class level. They would have to be a totally different fighter from what I saw in the last 2 fights to win at world-class level. But he's good. Listen, European level is good, but
Sounds
it's
harsh,
not world-class level.
No, it's not harsh at all. It's just your opinion, and I don't disagree with you. I think we've seen something.
There's a lot of people who've been watching and listening tonight who'll think, well, yeah, he's come through in a fantastic fight. Where does he move on from this? Does he go on to the next level? I don't think really that we've seen something there which suggests that he'd go to the next level and win.
What we have to put into perspective, I'm playing devil's advocate here a little bit with both of you, is Kane, Williamson has never been stopped. Troy Williamson has never, sorry, not Kane. Troy Williamson has never been stopped in his career. And if it had been emphatic tonight and Callum had been able to stop him, maybe we would have seen it differently.
Well, he nearly got him in the third, didn't he? The third round. If he'd taken him out there, then we might have said, wow. But it didn't happen.
For me, it's not even about taking him out, because nobody ever took him out. It's also, you were in a really debilitating fight against the guy. Again, this is still a 35-year-old guy who's past his prime, who's naturally smaller. You know, you won the fight, and it was convincingly, but it was also physically very debilitating. And this is still sub-world-class level.
Is Gradus Kraus going to be one of the stars of the boxing firmament in the next year or two in your view? We've seen him tonight. He looked very impressive to me.
Certainly it's a conversation topic. Good-looking guy with big punching power, a lot of marketability and promotability there. We'll see how he continues to progress. It's still early to tell, but he does have the ingredients that you would like to see in a fighter that could become a star.
It seems a shame, and I think you kind of touched on it, John, that on a night when we've seen an incredible performance by Simpson to come back from defeat in the last encounter, that we're putting a ceiling on where he can go. It seems a very cruel moment in what is a cruel sport at times.
It is, it's a cruel sport, you know. I mean, Paulie would know it more as well as anybody. You know, you can have all the talent in the world, and sometimes it's about timing.
Hey, listen, he went through his whole career being called pillow fists.
If you've got brilliant people who are around at the same time as you maybe aren't going to achieve your greatest dream, and that's the nature of boxing.
Well, you had that against Miguel Cotto, didn't you?
Well, you know, there's levels of this, and Simpson is a good level. Listen, being a European level is a solid level, is a good level. I think he can compete at world-class level. I'm just not sure he wins against any of the big names at world-class level, or any world championships, for that matter.
We're just waiting for Spencer, who's ringside, to speak with Ben Shalom, and he is with him right now. Spencer, speak to the promoter, Ben Shalom.
Well, Ben Shalom, whoa, what a risk. A calculated gamble there, but it paid off for Callum Simpson. What a fight.
Unbelievable fight, and yeah, unbelievable. It was a hard 12 rounds to watch. I thought he was going to get him out of there. I think it was the third or fourth. I can't quite remember which round, but my God, Troy Williamson kept coming, and what a fight. But for Callum, after all the shit that he was putting, boxing fans so quick to write someone off and tell them, oh, that's his level, or he should never fight at the weight again, or I don't think the rematch. The amount of people that told me in boxing, I want to just say to you, so many WhatsApps saying, do not take that rematch from the other side. We took it, he did it, and I'm so excited. I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, listen, it was, like I say, it was a big gamble. And now puts him back in the driving seat, though. He derailed, he's re-railed, and now that world ranking's there. I mean, exciting times ahead for him.
Exciting times. He's got the biggest fan base in British boxing, without a shadow of a doubt. And so to be able to build on that now, come back stronger from a loss in a big rematch like this, he can really go on to big things now.
Can he get to world level? Can he win a world title?
He will get to world level, and I hope he'll fight for a world title in the next 12 months. He's done every single other level. He's done it every single time, and he'll keep getting better based on the opposition. But make no mistake, all I would say is don't underestimate how good Troy Williamson was tonight. Really top fighter.
Brilliant. Ben, as always, thanks very much, guys. Ben Shalom, and that's back over to you guys.
A little bit of promoter speak from Ben Shalom, obviously, but look out for the next 12 months. And I do agree with him, and I have to play devil's advocate with a pair of you, John, Paulie, that Troy Williamson. Sorry, Freudian slip all night with that. is a very special, resilient fighter. Gents, thank you very much for tonight. Thank you, Spencer. Thank you. Are we about to get another interview? No. Spencer, thank you. Paulie, thank you. John Rawling, thank you. From here,